Oopsies. Hi, Toro. Hey, Graciela, welcome. We're just waiting for the other ladies to show up for the panel. I'm good. How are you doing? Hey, Meg. It's Jess. Hi, Bullet. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Thank you for the crane. Oh, do I need to like... Oh, there we go. We're just waiting for everybody to get here. Hey, Meg.
Hi, pal.
You know, I'm not going to know how to work these freaking boxes. Guess we'll wait. Oh, who's here?
My dog's eating, so it's loud. She's so crazy. Do you hear her?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to mute it.
Do you ever get overstimulated when a dog is drinking water?
Like all the time. I'm like, what? Why? You're like the most Yeah. I can't handle and I can't handle when she's eating her food either. And she has to eat it right in front of my room.
I have to, well, you know how Junior is with his dog bowls. He's a maniac.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I have a flash goal. I've never gotten a flash goal before.
Oh, really? I got him. I've gotten them twice now.
Toro, we are doing a live panel, so there's going to be, thank you. There's going to be 4 of us up here. We're discussing a topic every week on Wednesdays. So I saw that you requested to come up. We will do other guests towards the end. So right now it's just going to be the 4 of us, and we're going to be chit-chatting and chatting with everyone in the chat. And then after, towards the end of the panel, we'll let other people up as well. We had a dog that drank water with her tongue backwards. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out how that works. Hi, Mark. Welcome. I was like cramming towards the end here. Like, I know I wrote all those notes, but it was more of an outline. I hadn't really filled in the blanks yet. Here we go. There's Katie.
Hi, friends.
Hi, Katie. How are you?
Notes in for next week.
My dog's eating dinner, so enjoy.
On the plate.
Oh my god.
She's fine. It's not that bad. I saw that you were starting to write your notes in.
I did. I just copied and pasted everything. Hi, Waffles. Welcome in.
Hi, Mitch. Hi, Teresa.
I'm gonna turn that off.
Did you just mute you, Meg?
Yeah, because her dog's eating. Noisy.
How's it going?
It's going. So, Katie, I didn't tell, or maybe I did tell you this. My everything's running together. I did, about how we found out that I guess the cleaners like never came.
Yeah,
I'm so mad.
that's insanity.
I know. I'm so upset. Like, I don't know. And we had all these viewer or showings tonight, and I was like, we didn't really have time to do anything. We have one tomorrow, as far as I know. I'm hoping. Hi, Mojo. How are you? I started working on your profile picture last night, and me and ChatGPT are fighting, so bear with me. I have a few that I can send you, and you can see what you think, but I'm working on it.
Is Ember angry with you?
Yes. I know you're not, but I just want to let you know that I did start on it. I just I'm not particularly happy with anything I've gotten so far. So hi, Ashton. Grace, welcome. How are you? We're still waiting for Toy, and we're waiting for the event to actually start, which is about to in about a minute. So we're kind of waiting for everybody to come in. How's everyone doing? If you can, in the chat, let us know where you're joining from. I'm in Georgia. Meg is muted because her dog is eating really loud. Meg is in Ohio. Katie is in Michigan. And Toy is in Virginia. I just spoke for all of you, sorry. But yeah, Mojo. So the tonight's live is going to be about trust. We're talking about trust, how to no, I'm not battling, Chase. We're talking about how to build trust, how to maintain trust, and how to repair trust when it's broken. Hi, Mickey. Welcome. There's Toy. There she is. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, friends.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hey, 1 second, y'all.
Thank you, Jess. Well, I don't even think
Thank you, Jay.
I had to wait for the diva to stop eating dinner.
Mojo said, I love it. I need it. You have no idea. I'm headed for Bible study soon, but if it's okay, I will listen in. Absolutely. Please do. Planning to come next year to Washington. Oh, you're in Nigeria and you're planning to come to Washington. Very cool. I love that.
I just found sourdough in my hair. Good times.
I got my first
Who's
flash.
eating? Who's the diva?
My dog.
I thought you knew who you were talking about, but I just want to make sure.
Yes, the dog. She has to eat right outside my room. And she's a loud chewer, which, that works my nerves in all the right ways.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm okay. I was just telling KD if she had texted me. I was like, I hope I can stay true tonight. I'm gonna stay on. I want to stay on. We can see how it goes. I'll be
You
here.
should be able to fix it to where it's 4x4, I think. You just select the amount.
I think that's the first option, actually.
No. Nope.
I don't think we're able to do it as moderators.
Oh, you're not?
Hi, Walking Life's Journey.
Hey, Kita!
Hi, Kitty.
Kita and friends. I have to say that. And friends.
And friends.
So where is it? Hold on. So it's. I've got to figure out how to do this eventually.
I'm trying to figure out how to place my. I haven't turned my camera on because I'm trying to figure out my life right now.
Hi, Mr. Jess.
Mr. Jess is here. Hey, hey, hey.
So when I go to the three little dots, wait, what's this button do? Enhance, background, boards. Y'all, this is ridiculous. All right. So the three little dots, I can do. Oh wait, no, that's not it. You're like such a dum-dum. I like cannot figure this out.
Jess has a flash goal, so she needs 3 people to send her the TikTok J.
Oh. I didn't see. I was trying to still move around. My bad.
How are you doing, Kita? Are you still on vacation? You're headed back, aren't you? Yay, thank you. That was my first flash goal.
Aww.
All right, so and shrink. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so shrink. Oh jeez. All right, hold on. Y'all, this is gonna drive me nuts. How do I do this?
Let's see.
Hold please. Just one moment. What? Like, do you know what it's under?
I know you've been going and going and going, Kita.
Hold on, Jess. Let me see if I can fix it.
Okay.
I know you're tired.
Where are you off to now, friend?
To come see me? No.
Aww.
No. I'm gonna see her, but she's coming to Virginia for her mom.
Hold on. I think I found it.
Thank y'all for being here tonight. Yay. I'm so excited y'all are here. Look, are you laughing at me?
No. Let me see if I can do it.
Okay. She's like,
Oh,
stop
you talking about with the grid?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like cannot figure this out. Damn, we're not taking guests at the moment. We will towards the end, okay? We're gonna eventually get. I'm kind of waiting for everyone to roll in. Here we go.
We're roaming up the room. Oh, yeah. Working on the boxes.
Why does this feel like it's so complicated? Hold on.
I don't know. I mean, we had this. I don't know.
I was able to do it before.
Yeah.
But like, I can't. Like, I have to make you bigger.
That's fine.
I think only she can make herself bigger, though. Which is weird. Why is it like that?
No, you should be able to, because I've been able to switch them before. Whatever.
This is hilarious.
No. One of these days, I'm gonna.
Well, maybe just put Jay. Just have you in the not me, but maybe have you here since you're host.
Yeah. Hold on Toy's profile. Does it say on the top shrink?
Yeah.
Okay, do that.
Yeah.
And then
Jump scare.
and then go to the multi-guest.
Jump scare.
Thanks for bearing with us. Go to the multi.
We're having technical difficulties. It's like our team's meetings.
I'm on multi-guest. Oh my gosh. Oh wait. You're muted, Meg. Did you know that?
Is Bowie still eating?
I don't know how that happened.
Do you want us all to drop down and then maybe?
Oh, I fixed it.
Look at us! Hey,
I pressed the button and it did a thing. Or maybe,
No,
or
she's
maybe
not still eating, but this is what she's doing.
Hi,
Aw.
baby.
All right, guys. We're back.
Who wants to crawl back in?
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
All of my children have
She
been
wants
trying.
to say hi to her followers.
All right. So today we are welcome, everybody. Welcome to rHott episode 5. Can you believe we finished a cycle already and we're already episode 5?
I know.
Easy.
We've already gone all the way through. What am I missing here? Okay. So this week we're talking about trust, and this is kind of a big one. I feel like everybody can relate to building trust, maintaining trust, repairing trust when it's broken in some way, shape, or form, and we wanted to talk about it. So the reason it's important is because trust is like fundamental to building and maintaining strong relationships and of any kind, whether it's, a romantic relationship, a friendship. One moment. My TV decided to come on randomly. All right. Whether it's a parental relationship, like parents and children, building those types of relationships, romantic, friendship, professional relationships, and talking about it kind of normalizes the challenges that come with building trust, maintaining trust, and then especially with rebuilding trust when it's broken. So yeah, what trust means is feeling safe and secure and validated. And I feel like when I can trust somebody, I'm able to kind of gain those things from them. And I kind of want to go around the room and talk about, hi, Dave, hi, Jen, and talk about what trust means to you guys.
Hi, Jen. Hi, Dave.
Huh?
Okay, well, I'll echo. I'll echo what you said. I think trust is all those things. I'm gonna sound like a mini Jess, because it is feeling safe and secure. It's feeling heard, validated, and I think trust is, and I might be getting to the next one, so I might have diarrhea of the mouth, you guys. But I think trust is definitely earned, but I think I can trust everyone to a certain extent. It's the earning it back that's the hard part. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's like feeling safe and secure, like I said, heard, validated, wanted, just included in some form of fashion. Hi, friends that are coming in. Thanks for coming in. Sorry.
Everyone, I'm trying to say hey to everybody, but y'all are coming in quick. Katie, Meg, do y'all have anything to add to what
Tracy,
truth
Chrissy.
I can go. So I did notes while I was sitting at soccer practice too.
Good.
Otherwise, I get diarrhea of the mouth, and I just go on and on and on. So I wrote, trust comes in many forms. Tonight I'm focusing on trust in parenting, like parent-child. Trust comes in many forms depending on who and what the trust is in. As a parent, it is important to know trust is a two-way street. As parents, we need to be open with our feelings and to hear the children's feelings. Be vulnerable, supportive, encouraging, even in the hard stuff. When we say we will do something, we show up and do it.
Yeah, definitely. So showing up and consistency in communication.
And validating the feelings, even in the stuff we might not agree with.
Yeah, and I think that's especially a big thing in the parent-child relationship, because I don't know how to say this without saying it, but you don't really pick your parents and you don't really pick. So it's, it's one thing when you have like a friendship and I think it's the same with a professional relationship. You don't exactly choose your boss and stuff like that. So those relationships are a little harder because you may not necessarily have a lot in common. So things are a little more volatile, I guess, and you have to kind of push your opinions and beliefs aside in some cases.
I wrote down trust is being able to rely on the fact that someone is not going to harm you and that your time, space, and energy is safe.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
I do think that there is depth and layers to trust, but I don't think it's something that can be given freely.
I think especially once you've been through something, right?
Yeah.
And I can speak on that like with relationships, whether it be friends, I've been through friends stuff, or a partner. Once you've been through stuff, I think even for other people coming into your life, it takes a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm curious because Toy, you were saying, and I'm not picking on you. I'm just I'm interested in what you said, which was, you can kind of trust everyone to some degree, but earning that trust back is really hard. Dave said I would still let some people back in. So yeah, I mean, I think, and we'll get to the repairing of trust once it's broken, but I think everyone is probably going to agree that that's the hardest part. I think building trust and repairing trust is the hardest, and maintaining it I think is hard, but we'll get into that a little bit. But this Toy.
Sorry, I forgot I was not turned on. like forgetting daily heartbeats. It's like, oh, I didn't do it.
So as far as building trust, I kind of wanted to talk about, and in the chat too, like experiences on building trust. And if you want, I'll go first. That's fine. But what experiences we have in building trust in new relationships, whether again friendships, a parent-child relationship, not necessarily a new relationship, but you know what I mean. Once you get to that point where trust has to be built, which I guess that can even start really early on in a parent-child relationship, but or a professional relationship. So if anyone wants to share, otherwise I can. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Miss Hostess with the mostest.
Okay. So for me, I will. I think after my first marriage, that relationship felt a little claustrophobic, let's say, in a lot of ways. So when I met Ben, who is Mr. Jess, he's in the chat, or he's listening probably. For me, it was really, in building trust with him, I needed to know that I was allowed to kind of be my own person, and I was allowed to have my own like dreams and aspirations, and I was allowed to be something more than a wife or something more than a partner, and that I was allowed to kind of be my own person. And that was really important to me. So it took a lot of time for me to kind of build that trust. But I will say early on, he was really good about, I think just naturally, he was really good about making sure that I knew that I could be my own person and that I was like free to have my own dreams. And I didn't, my life didn't have to be, you're just a wife, you know what I mean? Like you're more than that. And he was really good at validating that for me when we first started dating. So and it took a long time for me to actually like get there to trusting, but that was a me thing, not really a him thing. But... Toy?
No. Are we going to this? We're doing this order?
I went diagonal.
I think that's good.
You were diagonal. I had a couple. Wait, are we doing our stories?
Yeah. So an experience you have with building trust.
Ollie says hi to his followers really quickly.
Mine is kind of like it's not kind of like yours, but Thank you, friend. I do not feel pretty right now. I appreciate you. Um, so kind of like it does have to do with Mr. Toy, like yours was with Mr. Jess, and I think when we met, and not to go into like grave detail, but I was in, um, I went, I was in two relationships before meeting Mr. Toy, and I would just kind of say that I was like damaged goods, and so it was very hard for me to trust again. Um, and I mean, he got it honest because when I told you guys when I went to go meet him that one time, and I was like, I got 911 on my phone. Everyone knows what I'm wearing.
Yes.
Like, he was like, "Do you want some water?" And I was like, "Yes, bottled. Like, I don't want you to slip anything." He was like, but it took me a while because I didn't know. I wanted to trust, but I didn't know how to trust. And so it took a little while. But we got there, and I think it's amazing to me how like sometimes people you can have bad experiences with some people, and the trust is broken. But unfortunately, other people who come into your life are they have to deal with that. And I think sometimes it's not fair, but I mean, we're human, and sometimes, we might be able to not joke, but like say it light, like, oh, I have PTSD, but no, you can have that. It doesn't have to mean like you went to combat or anything. Like you really can have some traumatic experience and or some bad experiences that kind of stick in your head, and it's like, hey, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this, or I got to hold this person way out here. So I think that's kind of like, without going into detail about it, and I can, but I don't want to hold up everybody. That was my tidbit for like building my experience, my backstory, if you will.
Well, it's kind of interesting too, because like I think there's something to that as well. I don't know if we'd call it respecting boundaries, but like the person that is in the position of kind of on the other side of the person that's dealing with the trauma or whatever it is, can they kind of withstand that, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and are they willing to kind of sit there and be patient with you while you learn to trust again? And I don't know if that's like honoring a boundary or something. I'm not really sure what you'd call that. I guess it's kind of a boundary.
I think
Like,
it's I think it could be both. I think it's like patience and like if you I think again, in my experience, I think it's patience if you want the relationship to work in any form or facet, whether it's a friendship, your marriage, your with your kids, in any way that you want it to work, you're gonna like put forth the effort and then just try to remain as patient as you can, excuse me, my head. So like for instance, with that, he would call, and because of the relationship that I was in before, I would get nervous, and because the previous relationship, I would always end up in the hospital with like anxiety and just bad breathing and all the things. So when I got to Mr. Toy, or he would call and I would miss it, or I knew that I was missing the phone call because I was driving or I was sleeping or whatever the case may be, I would get like anxious, and as soon as I answer the phone, I would say, sorry, I was doing this, or he was just like, chill, like, so he had to deal with that, but he was very patient through it because he was like, I didn't ask you any of that. And I was like, yeah, but I was busy, and then I was eating, and then I was I had to use the bathroom, and then I had to take the trash out, and I had to do that. And he was just like, this is a lot. He was like, it's okay. But he dealt with that, he worked with my problem. He had a lot of patience.
I think Mr. Jess still deals a little bit with that, with me doing the whole like, for me, whenever I'm resting,
Mm-hmm.
I feel guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of the like, and he'll walk in the room and I'm like sitting down resting, and the dishes definitely need to be done and dinner needs to be started. The kids are running in circles and I'm just staring at them like, I don't know. And I'm like, sorry, I'm not being lazy. I'm just, I just needed a second. And he's like, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. I don't care. He's like, I just took a nap. You're good. Like,
Yes. Yes.
um, but that's, um, something from, yeah, my past. So,
Mm-hmm.
Meg, Katie.
And I said she feels guilty about that.
You go, Katie.
Okay. So mine is, we're doing our story, right?
Yeah.
Making sure. I can go all over with this.
Oh, yeah. No. Feel free to.
No. This is why I knew I had to take notes on this topic, because there are a whole lot of ways that I could
Probably
go
do
with.
like 5 episodes on trust alone.
Real.
Um, so having heard what you guys just said, I want to, again, I'm focusing on the parenting aspect, right? But I want to add a little bit of depth, and this is not notes. So this is Katie just talking. Sorry. I
We're here.
had some trauma with my mom. As I was growing up, like just the way things were handled, or and it made me want to be a significantly different parent than I had ever been around. And so when I share the things, like, I want to be vulnerable with my kids. I want to tell my kids the truth. I want them to know all the things. And I even talk with my kids about, like, yeah, I did this stupid stuff when I was young, right? Because I want them to know, like, you're going to make mistakes and it's okay, and we're here to help you. I always want to encourage my kids to call us,
Right.
instead of being afraid to come to us.
Yeah, instead of saying like, I can never let them know, but
Right.
making sure they say instead, I need to make sure I need to call my mom or I need to call my dad
Right.
and trust that you're a safe space, you know?
And so my story is actually in my typical fashion. My dogs are gonna fight, and I'm gonna have to rehome them. So my oldest daughter was, I think, in like the 3rd grade, and she came home from the bus and she was so upset. She was crying. She's like, this boy threatened me. Like, he said he's gonna do terrible things to our house and hurt me and do all these things. And you hear this and you're like, whoa, this isn't okay, right? Like, so I'm like, okay, tell me the whole story. And so she told me, maybe I didn't say that at the time, actually. That maybe came after. But I listened to the story and I started making phone calls, as one would. And I end up talking to like 15 different people. They finally connected me with the bus driver. And I think she called me back a little bit later, and she was like, okay, here's what happened. And come to find out, my sweet little innocent 3rd grade child had a part in it.
Oh,
And she
no.
told me that part. So as the bus driver's telling me these things, I'm like, what do I even say right now? Because I can't defend an action that I didn't know about, right? And so I'm trying to read my notes. Both the kids had made poor choices, and the bus driver actually made them apologize to each other. Holly, I'm sorry. So anyway, after that, I had a talk with my kids, like each one, as they've hit like a certain age, and I'm like, listen, I will go to bat for you. I like anything you need, anything that needs to be taken care of, I will help you handle. But I need to know the whole truth.
Right.
Like, there needs to be a level of trust there. And tell me if you did something dumb as well. Like, it's okay. We will work through it. But I need to know every facet of what happened. That's my parenting trust story.
That's kind of funny. Yeah, they conveniently leave out the part where
I can say since then, we have not had an issue where they've left the part out. That I know.
yeah. Meg, you're up.
Well, I will say, like, one thing as far as like some advice parenting wise that I have told my son that has gone off to college. don't be a liar and don't be a dick. And if you have to lie, that means you're a dick. So like that was my and and I just feel like that's I mean that's just like I don't know. Anyways, but I have a like my friend. I had a friend trust, for sure. Um, and one of the very good friends that I have in my life now. She's kind of proven to me over and over again that I can trust her. But I started to have trust relationships with friends and men and women, but friends in particular. I went through something really difficult in high school, and my friend in high school told me that my problems were too big for her, so she couldn't be my friend anymore. And that was like really difficult because not only was I going through a difficult thing, I was also now have also lost my friend. So um, it just it was such a hard time, and then it had pushed me through life having a difficult time trusting men, but women, and trying to build relationships and friendships with women. And then I met my really good friend, and we met. Our boys were in school, and she has she just has shown that she has showed up for me. But I would make excuses for my shortcomings, or I would make excuses um, for being in an episode and, feeling so worried that what I was going through was too much, that I was too much. And she always understood, and she always made me feel like I was not too much, and she's here for me, and I could tell her anything, and she wasn't going to judge me, and she wasn't going to make me feel less than. And we have cultivated this relationship for 12 years or so. And she's one of those people that I sometimes don't talk to for like weeks at a time, or we'll talk every day or whatever, but like it's the ebbs and flows of the relationship. But I still know like I can count on her. I think I've told this before, but like I was really sick, and I had told her that I was sick or whatever, and she told me that I had a delivery, and she had dropped off medications and soup and stuff, and like just did it without even like asking, without me having to ask or say anything. And I just thought that was such a touching thing. And she just has proved that she has shown up for me, and I have been able to do things for her. But I was able to let her in, and that was a really hard thing for me, because you feel like you're going through something and nobody wants to listen to your crap. Nobody wants to, or your stuff's too big for them, or you're just too much. And in some of your darkest times, they just bail on you, and so then you just feel like, okay, I just got to do it all by myself. So building that relationship, and that the consistency has really helped me cultivate that relationship, for it to have some longevity and staying power. But I mean, it's hard, and like trust in all types of relationships is a difficult thing, you know. But I think it's just finding the ones that like I was trying to say before, that you can rely on them not to harm you, and that your energy is safe. And she does that for me. And so like that's, and there's a few people that I have in my life that do that, but it takes a long time. It's not freely given for me anyways. But anyways, that's my story.
Yeah. No, I think also the ease in which you allow yourself to trust people, anybody, has a lot to do with your past. I mean, like if you've dealt with a lot of trauma and you've dealt with a lot of issues with trust, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Shania, that's a very good point. Is, you know, asking permission to be able to kind of, I don't want to say burden, but you ask permission before you tell people what. I'm trying to
Yeah, we have that. She'll be like, "Are you available to talk? Can you
right.
talk? I need to vent or dump or whatever." And that's a lot of reason why like I have my phone on do not disturb, so I don't just get random phone calls and people just go into it. But so people will call, like text and be like, "Can you talk?" And I appreciate that because I'm not always in that space to talk, and so that's what I like to do is I call and be like, or text and be like, "Hey, can you talk? I need a minute or something." And I think that's important because they might not be able to in the space to receive what you have to say.
Yeah, and I mean, frankly, if they're not, then it's not really useful. It's not really helpful to you. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to unload on somebody who is not available to be unloaded on, and so it's kind of one of those. It's a boundary, right? It's respecting somebody's space and boundaries. So
Yeah, I have
go
a
ahead.
question. My hand. I'm sorry. No. But I do I want to go back because I know you had said, well, Toy, like you can. I know what I said. Like I can, I can trust everybody. I don't trust everybody. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like I trust anyone because I trust everybody because you can't. But I kind of give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Now, I mean, I can trust you as far as I can throw you. There's a difference. But once it's broken, it's very hard to get about. And we talked about this with me, and the Lord is working on me because I will hold grudges. Okay, I don't. It's bad. I don't hold them like I used to. I think that's, and I think that kind of ties in with trust as well. Just I don't know if you're gonna do this again, or I don't know. I have a friend right now, and she's been working on it since 2015. Okay, like she's been working on it, and I don't know if she knows it. I think she does know it, and I'm just not there yet. I speak. I trust her, but I don't trust her with certain information. Maybe I should say that. So it's just it's like damaged goods at that point because I don't know. I don't want to lose the relationship, but I just know I can't. We're not there where we used to be. We probably will never ever be because of the way things were done. But I just want to say that because I didn't want you to be like, "Well, Tori just out here trusting everybody." No, that's why my kids. That's why my kids can't have sleepovers because I don't trust anybody there either.
He just gives it away. Everybody, you get trust, and you get trust, and you get trust.
What an honest slut! Sorry.
He's the Oprah of trust, right?
Exactly, Kitty. You got to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
You move differently. That determines how you move, right?
Right.
So on that note, what are some ways that we can establish trust in a new relationship?
Don't be a liar and don't be a dick.
What she said.
I think she said it all. And if you're lying, then you're being a dick.
That's right.
It works either way. It's like spelling Anna.
Spelling it. So, yeah, I think communication, which all of that, what she said. So
We need a sticker for that. Sorry.
That's right. Write that down. Jot that down.
Secretary.
Kate, right when we get off, Katie is going to send us a sticker that she made with us. Don't be lying, don't be a dick. She's quick on the stickers.
Like she's probably doing it right now.
You probably need two. You probably need the one that says "Don't be a liar" and then another one that says "Don't be a dick." So then you just
and then you need the one that says "If you're lying, you're a dick."
That's right. And if you're lying, you're a dick.
Will we get banned for that? What was the one I was asking about? Like, can we do that or will we get banned?
Oh, I need it.
I don't know.
You said you wanted a sticker that says "not."
Tracy said, "Meg, put it on a shirt."
Wait, I have it.
It's damp.
I will.
Damn.
Don't give Katie and Meg any ideas. We'll be walking around with that with the next meeting on Wednesday. Some rHott.
Listen, there will be merch, and maybe that will be on a shirt.
There is going
Could
to
be on a
merch
hat.
on.
I don't know. We'll have pins. Who knows?
We're gonna have a moist shirt.
We also need research.
Not wearing that.
Research.
What's funny is what we'll do whenever we do our photo shoot, I want me, Meg, and Katie to wear a shirt that says moist, and for Toy to wear one that says it's damp.
Oh my Lord.
I think that's the best comeback. Don't
Here
we
we
have
go.
a sticker for damp? We do.
Yeah, that's what,
We
I think I
do.
uploaded it. I think I uploaded the sticker for
I
damp.
don't know if I put it up yet, but
Literally dying, unaliving, whatever. What
speaking
else to
of
say?
trust issues, I'm over here throwing out the moist word.
I
And
didn't
Toy,
have a bad connection. I'm dropping off the
coming.
Toy's like, we suddenly have trust issues.
call. Right. I'm gonna research this friendship.
Well, I'm giving you the.
I didn't even look up.
I know she didn't even get it.
What?
You missed it, friend.
I was taking notes, okay?
Stop doodling.
Be the responsible one.
Listen, I'm not doodling. I'm actually writing.
I was
On
doodling.
the back
I
of her
write and then
envelope.
I color in my letters. I color my O's and my E's and my
Like your numbers.
Yep. I color
need
all
to
that
have
stuff. It's
numbers.
gonna be really pretty, and then I won't know what I wrote. Live in the moment. I can't do it. But they said that she's gonna talk about moist, and I said that's fine because I'm gonna go research this relationship. So for everyone in the chat, I don't like the M word, and I can't believe I said it. I said it.
Oh my gosh, it's like it's like
Maybe, yeah, like therapy,
can't
conversion
stand that
therapy.
what do
word.
you call it?
Conversion therapy.
Conversion. Well, is it conversion or is it?
I'm so sad that I did it. And y'all,
Accept
Meg
it,
doesn't like the word
therapy.
research. She can't stand the word research.
Research.
So
Meg is a scientist. A little scientist.
research.
Her job is literally.
Tracy, this is us. This is so terrible. Like we can't say certain words, and they're just regular words. It's damp. Like when you get that cake, and Betty Crocker says it's like super not dry. I feel like there's nothing wrong with saying super not dry.
Or maybe we have a shirt that says super not dry.
Yeah,
not
super
dry.
damp cake. It's a damp cake. It's not dry.
Damp sounds like it just shouldn't.
Be involved in a cake.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I don't think I have words that I do not. I do not have trust issues with words.
I have.
Katie,
certain sounds that
you're so
will
sweet.
throw me off of people.
Sometimes
Right.
Katie be
That
trying to
sounds
throw.
like-
I'm just really scared to tell
Katie
you.
wants to squabble up. That's the one that's going to be on. Sorry, we're getting off the topic. We're already doing right. It's Shanae says it sounds unclean.
The damp cake.
That's what I'm saying though. Is for a cake, if you say it's a damp cake, I am not eating it.
I just had something I was going to share, but I was
It's like you're taking it out of the
I'll wait
trash.
till we're done with the segment because that's when we start letting loose. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. Let me retain. Let me
The damp
let me-
cake.
Let me write that on my notes. Let me write that.
Write that, jot that down.
Jot it down.
Got it.
Ways to establish trust. Find the words they hate and say them a lot.
Wait, okay, so here's another trust thing. Going off notes. I'm sorry. Therapists. Right? Therapists. You know how I decide if a therapist is good? I dropped the F-bomb like 8 times in a row. I'm not even joking.
Right.
Because if they can handle it, then I'm like, okay, you're good for me. Now, I have been through like a few. I like my one now mostly.
I like mine now mostly too. But I've been through some, well, a few, a lot. But
Well, like
I don't think I've been
on the
through enough
trust
of them.
issue, my therapist, my last therapist, not this one, decided that we were good. And like exactly 5 hours later was one of the most traumatic days of my life.
Wait, what?
There's that. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Mm.
I'm good.
Are you though?
No.
Not even a little bit. Nope.
Well, at least you're honest, and I
I
can
was
trust
gonna say,
it.
at least she was honest.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my best here, friends.
Yeah. So again, with communication, transparency about feelings and intentions, and I think that as far as therapy goes and therapists go, um, if they can be clear about their um, intentions and their feelings on certain things, and I think that's a big thing, right? Like you're going to sit and talk to a therapist. I mean, there are a lot of things that they either need to be super on board with, or you need to find another therapist, frankly.
Mm-hmm.
There are things about every person that may not jive, right, with their personal beliefs, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's parenting style, I mean, name it, right? There are a million different things that they can have an opinion on that may not necessarily jive with what you're doing. And they either need to be able to be super open about it or be on the same page. So I think that's as far as therapists go, that's a really interesting dynamic, though, actually, is like building trust with a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Vulnerable. Very vulnerable.
Yeah, because you're
because it's still
your
a stranger.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're a stranger, and like you have to tell them your deepest, darkest secrets, and you have to trust that. I mean, not just from a legal standpoint that they're going to keep that and keep that safe, but that they're going to make you feel safe through the process. Right? Being consistent is a way to establish. What are you drinking over there, Katie?
I don't know what you're talking about.
She said, oh, okay.
Got her drinking her 2-step. Okay, sorry.
Trash.
Trash. Where's the second word? Let me go get it.
Super Tracy, you have to feel comfortable with them.
We don't have trash.
I think if there's the person that's like people that they're loyal, they're true to their word, they have integrity, they do what they say, like they hold space for you, or like they take care of your name when you're not in the room.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's big.
Like those types of things I think are big things. People that just kind of have your back, that
definitely.
I think those are good ways of building that. But I don't think that that's something that can be necessarily, you can't see some of that overnight. Like I think that has to be the consistency, the communication, the longevity of it all, cultivating that relationship, the give and take, it's reciprocal, it's symbiotic, you know what I mean? Like all those things, I think but I think that it's like those things are all like building blocks, you know what I'm saying, that build a good foundation of trust.
Yeah, another one that I really like is during really tough times, being able to show support without being asked during those times. You're talking about your friend that kind of showed up for you during a really hard time and like dropped off food and dropped off medicine and dropped off or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Somebody who can show up for you when, and I think the reason that's so important is because a lot of people are so afraid to ask for help, so they're
That's
not
right.
and most people I think would never say, yeah, can you bring me food to my door? Like most people aren't going to say that.
Yeah.
And I think, postpartum is a really big time and that's why they say like after you have a baby, that's when you know who your friends are.
They all want to come and see the squishy baby, but not 2 months later when you haven't showered and haven't slept and oh, can I take the baby so you can have a nap, please?
Right. Or can I come do your dishes, or can I sit and feel guilt free about sitting there nursing, or can I bring you food, or what do you things like that. It's like you know, you get a lot of people that kind of come to see the baby and they like have a dish when they come, but they kind of throw it at you and take the baby. But then you've got the people that like come in and they see you and they, you know, the baby is important, the baby is there, but they focus on you first. And I think that's when you know who your real friends are, I think. In a lot of ways.
Is it okay if I feel like let me get my hands on that baby, but then I want to know about you?
No, I
Like
feel
I
you.
want to hold this baby and hear
I
about
feel
you.
you. I'm all about the squishy babies. I feel you.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear about you, but first put the baby in my arms,
You want to
and then let's
multitask.
talk.
You want to hold the baby and talk about the mom.
And a lot of
Yeah,
times,
like
Like I
then
feel like that's not. I feel like that's valid. I mean, that's real because babies bring a lot of joy and happiness, and you just want to like you just want to do the
and
things
it's
with the
not like
babies. You know, you want to hold them and everything like that. I did have a friend that, and we're still friends. But when we moved in to the house, Alexander was like 16 months. So Ashlyn and Aubrey came. They're 3.5 years apart from Alexandra. And so when we were in there, I got pregnant. Obviously, that had the babies. Obviously, but she has 3 boys. No twins like us, but 3 boys. And she called me, and we had been talking anyway. But she had called me, and she was like, "Friend," she was like, "You need to get out the house." And I'm fine. I can't get everybody. Like, keep in mind, I had 3 kids under the age of 4, and so I'm just like, I can't. This is it. Like Meg said, I smell like milk. I haven't taken a shower. Like I haven't slept. The house is a mess. Like this is just I can't go anywhere. And she said, no, just come over here, leave the house. She said I was gonna call and check on you because I know the babies are fine. Everyone doesn't think about the babies are fine. She was like, the babies are fine. I know they're fine because you're not gonna let them not be fine. She was like, but you need to come over here. She lived literally across the street. We could open our doors during COVID and we would yell from way across the street. We would say 6 feet, shouted like, you ain't coming over here. She said, I'll meet you at the mailbox. And that's how close we were, like as far as proximity across the street. But she said, come over here. She said, I'm cleaning up my kitchen. I'll be fixing dinner, but just so you have a different scenery. And I didn't know how much I needed to just get out of that house, breathing the same air. Like, even though I'm still tending to the kids, you need that as a mom, a new mom, newborn hazing, all that stuff. And you need it to get out of this, break up the monotony because all you're doing is eating, breathing, sleeping the same thing. The schedule, the sleeping, the feeding, the changing, like all that stuff. But anyway, just to piggyback what you guys are saying about true friends, because and babies, so people are always wondering about the babies. They love the babies, of course. I love that we love that people love our babies, but we're like, hey, I was over here growing like elbows and kneecaps, and oh, I'm okay, thanks. Check on me later,
Yeah, I haven't showered or eaten, and it's, remember the times postpartum where you have to decide, like, make the decision on whether or not you're going to nap, eat, or shower, and then and also there's a load of laundry and dishes that need to be done, and like, you have to like make the decision, and I like being in a position to go and help somebody make that decision. Like, what do you want to do? You want to eat? Sit down and eat. All right, go take a shower and like kind of be there. And when they come out, like you want to leave them better than they were when you got there, So we talked a lot about building trust and all of that, but maintaining trust is kind of a different story. And I think maintaining trust can be really hard over long periods of time. And I hadn't thought about it. I was thinking about it for a little while. Like, I don't know, I feel like that could be kind of an easy part, but one of the things that gets in the way of maintaining trust, especially like over a long period of time, is there are challenges that are presented over a long period of time, like long friendships, long relationships, like when you have life changes and stress and things like that. Because one of the ways that trust is maintained is through communication and showing up and being there for each other. And when life happens, when life is lifing, hey, Erica, it's really hard to show up for other people when you're having a hard time showing up for yourself. And I kind of want to talk about that a little bit because I feel like we all run into that where we have days where we're barely keeping up with our own drama, and like we're struggling. And then how do you continue to show up for others and maintain trust with friends and family and your partners and that when you're struggling to keep up with your own stuff? And I don't know the answer. I think that's one of the challenges. Yeah, Tracy. I mean, there's definitely a lot of balance involved in, how do you do it? And I think I don't want to rule out dads or other parent, whatever. I think moms, because we carry so much, typically we tend to put ourselves on the back burner a little bit. So we are constantly reaching out. We are constantly trying to help our friends and help our partners and help everybody else. And then we finally hit a breaking point where, we, thank you, Katie. I got all the notifications coming up, all the little cranes flying. And I was like, yeah, Tracy. So, yeah, I think too, like, I think the best thing, and it goes back to transparency, is being able to say out loud, like, I love you, I care about you, I see you, I hear you. I'm not super available right now. And just being transparent ahead of time and kind of saying, well, I got a lot going on and I want to be here for you. I'm just having a hard time doing that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a temporary thing. It's like I'm having a moment and I can't really be here for you the way I want to be. But I can be tomorrow, or I can be, once resolved. It's okay to say no. Yeah, Tracy, we say this. We talked about boundaries. What was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Meg topic was boundaries, and we always say no is a full sentence, right? Like, you don't have to justify it. It's okay to say no. But I think in the spirit of full transparency and communication and building trust and maintaining trust, being able to say, I want to be here for you. I don't have the capacity for it right now. And I think that in and of itself helps you maintain the trust when you can't be there for somebody all the time.
And I think giving that little disclaimer, right? Like, even if you're having like a moment with a friend or a partner, even your kids, being able to say, I understand we're frustrated maybe with each other, whatever the situation is, being able to say, I just need a moment. Right. Like, I just need a moment. And maybe it is there are 15 other things going on that we need to take care of, or, there's always circumstances. I think giving the disclaimer helps build trust that, like, we're going to revisit this. It's not that I am not available ever. I just need a moment with my stuff right now, and we'll come back to that in just a moment.
I think it could be like, you can say, well, not say, but like, it could be, all right, I'm not really available, and so I can listen to you and half be available, or you can give me like a day or whatever, and then I can fully be available for you. And I think if it's like, if they're going through something, they're going through it and it's really bad, like, I think you can partially kind of be there, but like, otherwise, like, most of the time, be like, I'll listen. I don't know how much support I can give to you, but if you just need to talk it out or whatever. But I think, that's when the communication comes in, and being like, I can give you part of me right now, or if we want to try, if you're really needing somebody to be there, I can give you what I have, or we can try another day when I have more of a bandwidth, more of a capacity to give you what you need.
Yeah.
And I think on the flip side, like, being the person that needs something in that moment, even just being able to talk it out. Like, have you guys ever had the discussion, like, I don't need you to fix this for me. I just want to be heard. and just being able to vocalize it, say it out loud to someone that's not going to judge you.
Yeah, because I think that can also just like, you know, you can stew and ruminate on it all you want, but like sometimes if you just speaking the words out loud to somebody else that is hearing them, I think that not that you're necessarily trying to dump anything on somebody else, but just you're getting it out and you're getting it off of you, and somebody is hearing you and can empathize or can just feel something other than, I don't know, but like I think just saying them out loud to another human being sometimes I think helps you even just feel a little bit of a lift for whatever the situation may be.
Right. Yeah, I think the one thing I was thinking about is, have you ever like reached out to somebody and they didn't respond, especially if they were somebody who was more prone to reaching out or being more responsive? And what's the first thing that, if anybody has anxiety, what's the first thing you think when they don't?
They're mad at me.
They're mad at me. What did I do wrong?
What did I do? Yeah. What did I do to that?
I do it all the time. And so I think if there's like this kind of lack of communication, that those assumptions kind of creep in, cause cracks in that trust. And I think that's why it's so important to just be super transparent. Like, hey, I got your message. I'm not in a place to talk right now. We'll talk tomorrow. And I think in a weird way, if somebody said that to me, I'd feel very like, oh, you know, was I bothering them? But I think I'd also appreciate the transparency. Yeah. And I mean, frankly, I have a hard time saying I don't have the space to hear you right now. And I think as women, I think that's something we all deal with a little bit, which is why we end up taking on so much. But it's a boundary that I think is important to set, though.
Yeah, I can be bad about because I like sometimes I'll say like you can text message me and I might get back to you in 5 to 10 business days, because sometimes I mean I can have any amount of notifications in my phone. I mean I try. I'm intentional about it. I'm aware of it. I am trying to do better at responding to people, but it's not always, you know, because I live in my own struggles sometimes. And so like even trying to pick up the phone to reply to a text message is a lot for me sometimes. And so like, I'm trying to be like, I'm not ignoring anybody, or, you know, I got your message or whatever, but you know, that's a thing that I'm working on with myself so I can build relationships with other people. But you know, that's a hard thing. And then yeah, taking on other people's stuff sometimes when you're not readily available for it is hard. Hang on one sec.
Another thing about maintaining relationships over
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Over long periods of time. Hi, Casey. Welcome back in. Hi. And I think this is a big one that I didn't really think about. But I think over time, you get more comfortable pushing boundaries with people that you're close to. And when you push somebody's boundaries, it kind of breaks trust a little bit. If you know that there's a boundary and you continue to push it and you get more comfortable pushing it with them, it creates kind of a lack of trust. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome in. Let's see, who else popped in? Casey.
Katie, you're really good at remembering everybody's.
Little Mama's here.
Well, Mama, how you doing, Little Mama? You know what I'm doing? Making stickers.
I'm here for it.
Damp fupa.
Oh my God.
Whatever. Which when Shanae said unclean, it just made me think about it.
It's the damp
Yes.
cake.
Damn cake.
Well,
We
Mama,
can
we're
see
talking
here, little
about,
mommy. You're one of our regulars. You'll come to
yes.
almost every episode, I think.
We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you so much. And we are cheering for you. I want you to know that.
Mm.
Yeah, we do talk about you often.
Lovingly.
Yes, not in a bad way. Damn fupa. Sorry.
That'll definitely get
But
us.
you know what? In speaking with
Right.
I wanted to say I've always said I always operate in the spirit of transparency with everything, and sometimes if it's too much, I'd rather just lay everything out on the table because I would rather have an ugly truth than a pretty lie because then it's I don't know how the person's feeling, and they don't know how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Now it's on me if I say that I'm always available because it is, and I do most of the time. I'll say that. Am I always available? Uh, Most of the time I am, but that's because, and you guys know this from our conversation today. I don't. I need to practice what I preach because yeah, I have to lay it out and just be transparent, but I have to I don't practice what I preach as far as like self-care
Right.
at all. And I need to do better with that. I don't know how to do that in all realms, like in every way. But I think that's on me. So of course I'm gonna say I'm always available because I want to be. I honestly want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm gonna be real with myself, I might be available like 80% of the time because that's a big 20% that I'm not gonna be able to do to be there. I might be there physically, but I'm not there mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there, spiritually in whatever realm someone is needing me. Um, I'm not there. I think that's just being. I need to be honest,
So
but
coming from a place of love,
yeah,
it's hard on the person that is on the receiving end of
hmm
that, right? So if the person is needing to be heard emotionally, spiritually, and they aren't able to, and they're bearing their soul,
yeah,
it's really hard to be that person.
hmm
And then you question, right? Like you go back to those questions, like, are they mad at me?
confetti.
Did I
Yeah,
overstep? Did I like, you go through all the anxiety questions.
hmm hmm
Hello, CPAD. Welcome in. So, the kind of last thing we talked about building and maintaining trust. The last thing I want to talk about is repairing trust when it's broken, and I think this is one of the part of it that most people think about when we think about trust is what do we do when it's broken, um, and how do we approach situations when trust is broken? And I know that is relative, but yeah, I don't know. So I think the biggest
She said I can't. She said she can't out front.
you can't.
It's really hard for
It's
me.
very hard. Yeah.
Hi, Camille. Yeah, I think again, it's relative, right? It's the severity, it's the person, it's
Mm-hmm.
the relationship, it's the longevity of the relationship, um, and the offense itself, and you know, I think it's good to, and this is a lesson I learned later in life, but I think it's good to realize that trust can't always be repaired,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of, I think we covered this a tiny bit um, at one point talking about forgiveness or boundaries, but um, I think in a lot of ways you can say, I don't trust this person anymore. I don't trust this relationship anymore, and still forgive, but not forget and learn from it. And that's kind of in my case, it was a friendship, and the trust was broken over and over and over and over again. And I kept trying to repair it, but it's kind of like a broken glass, right? Like you can never you still always see the imperfections, and the cup is never the same, right? Like there's always those cracks there, and there's always a little bit of like imperfection to it. So, you can build from that, but sometimes it can't be repaired. There are pieces missing and you can't repair it. And, in my case, after trying for years, thank you guys, after trying for years to repair trust. And, at a certain point, I just said, it can't be repaired and we have to be done because I've repaired it too many times and it's not going to work anymore. And this was when I talked to my therapist, this was one of my favorite, and I've talked about this before, one of my favorite quotes from my therapist that I try to pass to people all the time. And because she at one point like straight up told me like, well, this is a lot your fault. And that's really hard to hear, when you're like, I didn't do anything wrong, it was her, she did it. And she was like, stop, what did she say? Stop. I have said this a bazillion times in my life and I've repeated it over and over, but my brain is going to go squirrel mode. Stop expecting rational behavior from people who have never acted rationally. And as she was like, at a certain point, she's broken your trust. It's gone. You have to accept that and move on. Exactly, the squirrels. You have to accept that and move on. And, if you keep letting them back in after that trust has been broken, it's a lot your fault. That's on you. And once she said that, and I had to accept, because it's hard. It's hard when you want to trust somebody, you want that person in your life, and especially, I mean, me and this person had been friends for 20 something. I'm only 37 years old. And, this happened years ago. So, we had been friends since we were pretty young, and it was hard to hear, Tracy. It was hard to hear that, I was sort of doing this to myself and I needed to let go of that. And, that sucked. And then you start to trust, you stop trusting your own judgment, right? And that's a whole other topic, is trusting yourself, but write that down.
Jot
that down. So, repairing broken trust. How do we approach those situations? Again, I say it's relative.
I agree.
I think it's relative because I think it depends on you. It depends on the situation, the person involved, the severity of why the trust was broken. Also, how it was broken. I think that has a lot. I think it's hard to say. I think for me, the question would be, is how do you respond if you've hurt someone? Experience. If you've hurt someone and you've apologized. I got tired of apologizing. I was sincere in my apology. But I'm not going to chase you to be my friend. Like after a certain extent. Now, did I do something? Absolutely, I did something.
Yeah.
But the conversation was seen on a message on a phone. Okay, this was not for this person to see, and I didn't say anything bad about. I was having. Anyway, we'll go into all that later. The point is, the person saw the message. Okay. And now when that was seen, it was like, okay, well, now I'm offended. And I was like, oh my gosh, so sorry. Like, I was just, we were having a conversation. I didn't sugarcoat it. I knew that it was probably wrong, but it was awkward because you weren't supposed to see anything anyway. But that's neither here nor there. So when I have apologized multiple times, and I'm talking about over the course of like 1 to 2 years, I don't want to do that anymore. How do you guys do, ladies, and in the chat, gentlemen, if we got any still in the chat? I mean, how do people, if you keep apologizing and apologizing and you're sincere, at some point I'm going to be like, I'm exhausted. I feel like at that point, that's up to you. Now that person's holding that grudge, and it's like they're not moving past it. I'm not saying to forget, but I am saying we have to move past because we are family, and so we got to move on in some form or fashion. I can't keep asking. I'm not about to beg anybody to be my friend. Does that sound bad? I'm not about to do that.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know what else you want someone to do. If you apologize and apologize, or if they apologize to you, then how long do you hold it? How long do you?
So in the chat, Tracy asked, how did you feel after the message was saw?
How do, I? You know, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because you should have seen it. That's how I felt. Now, I will give you guys details. Okay, I'll give you details because I feel like I need to go into this for this reason. Alexandra, Alexandra, hey, why don't you go in your room? I'm about to tell my friends something. Can you go into your room? You're actually supposed to be asleep, friend. You're supposed to be asleep because it's okay. I want you to go in there, and I'm gonna tell a story, and then I want you to
30.
come back. Okay. Okay, bug. You try to go to sleep. You turn that off, and you go to sleep. Okay, go look in the bathroom. You gotta read the labels, buddy. You gotta read the labels. Okay. Hey, Amina's here. Spin is here. Okay, so this is what happened. It's not a big deal. I just didn't want her to hear me because it has to do with family. All right, so check this out. My brother and I are super, super duper close. Okay. We had got married 2 months apart. That was not planned. And he was saying that his mother-in-law was, when he was, you know how you say stuff and they're just like, if someone's on the internet and they're like, send me a plate, that looks real good. You're not about to send them a plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just talking. Anybody can send a plate. So his
I mean, I'm still waiting for KD to send me some bread.
You know, May, this ain't the time. Do your research. Hold on. So,
I hope it's moist.
oh, it's damp bread.
It's a little damp with all
Damp bread.
snow we've had.
So he was like, his mother-in-law came over to their house and he was washing their cars. He was washing his car, his wife's car, and his mother-in-law was there, and she was just like, hey, my car is gonna be next, right? And he was like, yeah, you know, but it was also like getting dark, and he was just like, I'm not about to wash your car. And this was just, he and I were just shooting a bird outside. You know, we were at mom and dad's house, and I had taken the dog out, and so he came out there with me. He was vaping. He was just like, hey, I'm just gonna sit out here and chill with you. So we were just talking. I was like, so how's married life? You know, we were just talking about like we're both newlyweds. Like, hello, like we haven't been married like a whole freaking 5 pay periods yet, okay? So we're just talking about like what's going on. Yeah, your life is measured in pay periods after you get grown, right, y'all? Like, let's get together this pay period.
I measure my life in pay periods.
Right. Paper towels.
Put that down.
Right. Jot that down with the paper towels. So I said, he was like, you know, but it's weird because she wants me to do like this and that, and then like she kind of gets mad if I don't do this and that, like little odds and ends, right? So I was like, well, you know, maybe she's just joking or whatever. And he was like, yeah, but sometimes she gets like kind of like aggressive, kind of like, you know, I don't know the word he was saying, it's been years ago, but it was kind of like she was very persistent. That was a word, like, I think you should be doing this and I think you should be doing that. And I asked, so it's my turn or whatever. So they end up leaving. And I was like, yeah, well, the end of our conversation with just my brother and I standing outside, I was just like, hey, yeah, the honeydew list, you know what I mean? Like that, Tracy. So I said, well, you know, maybe I'll just rub off. Maybe, did you wash your car? You gonna wash your car? Like, whatever, you know, we just joking about it. So they end up leaving the next day. And he was like, I said, well, look, just be good, Sib, or something like that. Just be good. Just do what you got to do. He was like, yeah, but sometimes it gets kind of annoying. And I was like, well, maybe that's why she ain't married no more. That's exactly what I said. So his wife saw what I said. Maybe that's why she ain't married no more. So like, it was not, I was actually giving, I felt like just I was like, maybe it'll roll over. Maybe you guys are all getting new in this role. Like, she didn't know the whole context of the conversation. She didn't hear when I was like, she didn't hear that part. You know what I'm saying? So what she did see was like, maybe that's why she ain't married. I was just like, what? Yeah, like, where's her husband? You know what I'm saying? Like, where he at? She doesn't have one. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because they were, I don't even know if they were ever married or whatever the case was. That's her chapter. But my sister-in-law saw it. We say sister-in-law. My sister-in-law saw it, and she ran and just was like mad.
Yeah.
So when you asked me, Tracy, how I felt about it, I don't know how I felt about it, because you weren't supposed to see it anyway. And I was trying to explain to her after the fact, but now it looks like I'm sugarcoating something because you weren't there. You didn't hear the conversation. So now I find myself, son of love can't do everything for you. Right. Exactly. And that's why I'm like, you can't. I don't know how I felt, Tracy. I felt like you should have been looking in the phone. And that's what my brother said. He had his phone sit in the console when he was driving, and she looked over, it lit up, and she was like, ooh, what did Toya say? And it was just like, now that's a whole nother live when it's talking about people looking at each other's phones, whether married or not, relationship. That's a whole, well, maybe this is a live. I don't know. We are talking about the T word, but that's how I felt. So after a long time, it was like, hey, we're family at this point. We got to get past this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything any different. I still text her mom, or I text her and tell her mom happy birthday. And nothing had changed on my end. Her mom had sent me, birthday cards. Nothing had changed, but I just felt like it was like about a 2 to 3 year period of trying to like coax and apologize, and that got really old really, really quick. And then when we were, I was nursing. We were both nursing. I had Ashlyn and Aubrey. I was nursing both of them at the same time, so my hands were like literally full. And she was nursing her youngest at the same time. But the good thing is we were nursing in this room in my parents' house, so no one's about to squabble up. Not that we were. It would have been kind of fun, Katie. But at the end of the day, we didn't do that. We were talking. I let her know like how I felt, because at this point she started getting passive, and I don't deal with passive aggressiveness. I want you to just tell me like what's up. Like she would talk to me and give me like that church hug when everyone was around, but when no one was around, she wasn't going to talk. I'm not about to do this with you. I'm not in high school. So that's why I was like posing it to you guys in a group to say, hey, how long do you keep apologizing to people? It's up to them. I feel like once you've done it, it's up to them. That's all you can do. They have to be able to accept it in their own time. But like, how long is that supposed to take? I guess
Yeah, they have to choose whether or not they're going to, but I think that they do need to choose. And that was it's kind of interesting, Toy, because the situation that I guess am talking about in a roundabout way. I think I realized at a certain point that I was still holding a grudge against her. We had kind of reconciled a little bit at some point, but I still wasn't like okay with it, right? And I still had issues with it, and I still felt some kind of way every time I was around her, and I felt uneasy. And eventually, and I said this to Ben, like, I feel like I'm leading her on a little bit, and I need to make a decision. And I think part of it is being really afraid of making the wrong decision, maybe being afraid to, in my case, it was, I know what I want to do, I'm just scared to do it. But because breaking up a friendship of 20 some odd years, like someone you grew up with, is hard. And in your situation, I mean, you guys are family. Like, how are you going, like, that's, I think, a little complicated. But I think the person that is on the receiving end of the apology has to decide what they're going to do and do it. And it doesn't mean it's easy. And for me, it was, I made the decision that I needed to move on with my life and kind of get her out of my life because I knew I couldn't trust her anymore. So I guess complicated family dynamic aside, that person needs to decide. I mean,
Yeah.
are you going to accept the apology? Are you going to, because holding on to that grudge and I mean, it's childish.
Thank you. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is. But
You know,
we've grown now. But
yeah,
it was rough those first like,
yeah,
2-3 years, because when I would go there, she would she wouldn't come downstairs and go. She would actually leave the house.
yeah.
And then when I came, because I now when I go and visit, I have to respect the home.
Yeah.
I respect everyone who's in the home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say hello. I'm gonna greet everybody, but it's like it just made it very hard. You know what I mean? We're good now, though.
Can I ask how, like, maybe the way it landed on her hit, like, struck a nerve in some sort of a way? And did you ever try to like ask her, or like see like if there was something that she had been going through in that time that made it such a exposed nerve and such a sensitive situation that maybe that's why she had held on to it longer than maybe she would have normally?
So I did. I invited her out to lunch. We went to lunch, and this is when we were living about an hour and a half away from each other. So we met in the middle, and I mean it felt forced on her end. It wasn't forced on my end because I was trying to rectify things. Um, but I was like, I didn't have to ask. To your point, though, Meg, your question, she revealed that to me. She was like, my mom has always been very tough, and that's where I get my thick skin from, because I know my mom is tough. I know she's a lot. My sisters and I know that she's a lot. Like, and then she was crying about it. So I think there was some underlying issues in there with how her mom is, and I think her mom is a fine. I mean, she's her mom. I don't have any ill feelings or anything. I'm not around her that much, and when I am, it's no problem. I don't see her as like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's the one who's got the issues or whatever. I don't even think that. But apparently there's some underlying issues or concerns or which way that she grew up that may have triggered something. Because when she said that, she said, my mom is always, we've always dealt with my mom like being tough about something, or people have always talked about my mom, or some people apparently talked about her in the past. And I don't know about what. So I think that's what struck a nerve. Not knowing the whole conversation.
Yeah, the context.
Yeah, the context of everything. But
but
yeah, I didn't have to ask her.
I do think, like, sometimes people, like, that's my sister. I can talk bad about my sister because she's my sister. But if you talk bad about my sister, we got problems.
Yeah, we got problems. Exactly.
I might not like her all the time. Not in that. That's not. I'm just using her.
Yeah, for sure. Like, they could talk about their mom, but like no one else could talk about their mom.
Right. Right. So, like, I think even in like the most contentious of moments, like, they may agree, but there might be some shame, embarrassment, whatever, and then just feeling like they're exposed a little bit. Like how.
Especially in a young marriage, right?
Yeah.
Like in a young
Right.
marriage, and
Like,
then
we're talking like 4 weeks in.
Yeah.
And there's obviously that, like, if he's saying that to you, how is he feeling? Is he voicing that to her?
Exactly. And I think sometime to this day, I missed the S. I think sometimes to this day, there is a little bit of like, what are they talking about if I'm not in the room? You know what I mean? So it's weird because now when we're all together, my brother and I we just talk on the phone. Like, we'll talk, but like we feel like we don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable or like that they missed a story or that something's been taken. Because we have like a crap ton of like inside jokes. I mean, what siblings that are close don't have a lot of inside jokes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just kind of FOMO. Exactly. But
Tracy, I think I might be one of those over the top mother-in-laws someday.
I hope not. That's how I hope I'm not. But I mean, you don't. I have boys, and so like that, I think is all the conversation all of its own because whatever. I don't.
I
We
don't
don't.
think bad, like not like Karen extra over the top, but like
My mom's name
Please
is
don't.
He lives up.
I just hope to be included, like
Yeah.
because you see, like when it's the daughter, a lot of times you see the daughters and the husband gravitate more towards the daughter's family, depending on how close they are with their family. So that almost like takes the son away from his family. Because I have two boys, that is something that I think about a lot. I just want to be included. Like I just want it to be like the daughter that I didn't have and whatever. But I have dated enough to have. They weren't my mother-in-laws, but their mothers were a lot, and tell you how you need to be doing things. You're just like, I don't even know you, lady. Like, whatever.
no,
But
that won't be me. I just want, yeah, I want to be involved. I want to, more than anything, I want to help. Like we were talking about earlier, like the friend that says, "Hey, come to my house," or whoever that shows up to help you. I never had anybody.
That's my mother-in-law, though, and Mr. Jess is my second marriage. So his mother is my second mother-in-law, and the first one was a trip. We didn't get along, not even a little bit. She lived out of the country. When she moved back to the country, even to a different state, I said to my husband at the time, like, I don't think this country is big enough for both of us. Like, it was a lot. But my current mother-in-law, they live closer now. They live about a little less than 20 minutes away now. But at one point, they lived about an hour away. And after I had babies, while I was having babies, she would take my girls, who are my husband's stepchildren, and she took them and stayed with them while I was having babies.
I love that.
Yeah, and she, has basically adopted them as her own. And she also she lived about an hour away, and there were times when we were sick. All of us got COVID. All of us got the flu. I had just had a baby and I was exhausted, and she'd drive an hour just to drop something off on the porch, to drop off food, and they would always, like, every time they would come over, hey, Sunita, welcome. So glad to have you in here. So she would, a lot of times she would come over and just like stop at Kroger on the way and bring us like multiple bags, just like a full grocery load of just groceries. Like, oh yeah, like I had my my gallbladder removed back in November, and she actually ended up. I actually forgot about this when I was about to tell the story, but she actually ended up coming with me. She was the person that came with me to be with me while, because it's an outpatient thing. Thank you for the heart, me. And she sat with me, and like, it was a very vulnerable moment for me, actually, because I was like, I had to get undressed, and I had to, like, I was on anesthesia, and it was like, it's very vulnerable, and I felt very weird about the whole thing, just because, like, I don't know, and my husband ended up staying at home because one of the boys was sick or something like that. So he ended up not coming, and it felt really weird to me. But she was sitting there. So she was like a VP of administration at a hospital. So she's like somebody you want on your side when you're at a hospital. And so he walked in, and they're like prepping me and stuff, and she's like, you guys take care of her, she's a very important mama for 4 little babies, and you need to make sure she gets home safe. She was just very like protective, and like she'd ask all the questions, and she was very involved in the whole thing. But yeah, she was, I mean, and then she did all of that, came and dropped me off, and then went to Kroger and bought like a ton of groceries, came and dropped them off on the front porch and said, "I'll get out of your hair," and left. And that's the type of stuff she does. And
Oh, I love that.
I'm just like, is this real life? Because my last
Mother-in-law
mother-in-law
jackpot.
was horrible. She was not fun. So I'm very lucky in that regard.
That's a mother-in-law jackpot.
Yeah,
For real.
For
definitely.
sure.
Hello, Mama says a blessing. It is a blessing.
Yeah.
I
Um,
was very, very ill with my last pregnancy, and neither of our mothers would come to help.
Yeah.
Like, take care of 5 children.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think, Katie, to that point, being pregnant when you've got small children, because my experience was slightly different with all of that. But when I was pregnant with Christopher, my youngest, Oliver, my second youngest, was under 2. And dude, that was so hard. I did not think I was going to make it. I did not think I was going to make it. So I can't imagine having 5 young kids. I had my girls, but they were older. So they could kind of fend for themselves. And honestly, they fended for me a little bit.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I'm fortunate to have really awesome kids, and they have the bond that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Like, Toy, you with your brother, right?
Mhm.
That's amazing to me. Both my husband and I are only children.
Oh, really?
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're both only children. So we, like, our parents are like very hands off with our kids. One set sends money. Well, they both send a little bit, but one set sends a lot of money, and maybe see the kids once a year. But
Yeah.
Katie was my littlest one, was 7, and she had only seen one of her grandmothers twice in her whole life.
Wow. Yeah, I have similar for my mom.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And part of it was cultural.
Oh, I take
Like-
that, Grandma Tracy.
uh,
Oh, I love that.
That's sweet.
I think for us, part of it was cultural.
Yeah.
Things didn't play out how they expected it to, and it took a long time to come around. We're slowly getting there. I would say there's still not a lot of trust, but
Yeah, and on the topic of trust, and you know, as far as since we started talking about mother-in-laws, and especially since it seems that at some point we will all possibly be a mother-in-law, I think building trust, because I think mother-in-laws get a bad reputation and are just naturally, and maybe it was earned for a lot, but I think building trust amongst your children's spouses is the best way to make sure that you stay involved with your children and their children and so forth. And that's something that, like, my mother-in-law was always very good about. It is always very good about, like, this is a decision for you guys, not for him, but for us. And yes, and boundaries too. Casey, you're totally right. And that's another thing she's great at is, and that's why when I say she comes and drops stuff off on the porch after having, that's what's so special about it is she knows how I am. And after having babies, I really don't want anyone near me. I'm like, get away from me. She knows I am that way. And so she would drive an hour just to drop food off and not even see us, not even see the baby. And that says a lot. Because I know that she's respecting my boundary. And as a result of that, when she stops by, I'm like, come and see the baby. It's like you build that trust, and I know that I can trust her to respect my boundaries. Therefore, I let her in more. You know what I mean?
Well, Mama, I think because we don't have that, right?
Right.
He said, I want to be the mother-in-law that helps when they need it.
Yeah.
They can come to me for anything, right? Because that's not something that we have had.
Yeah.
So, and now going on that same path, I guess, and even as a parent, like I talked about earlier, I overcompensate.
Yeah.
Overcompensate
I do that as a too. Yeah.
in so many ways because I didn't have these things, right? Like I never had an advocate.
Right.
Like, what am I so passionate about advocating for my children and
Right.
advocating for any child, but mine, right? Like that's where it started. But I never had that. I never had the person to do that for me. So maybe I overcompensate. I hope it carries on and my kids, they advocate for themselves now. I will say that.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like teaching kids, and I think that's one of the things because I do the same thing where I kind of overcompensate, right? But I think the hard part about that is learning to cut the umbilical cord, so to speak, and let them do their own thing and learn how to advocate for themselves, learn how to be proud of themselves, and learn how to do things for themselves and still know that you're there for
Yeah.
backup, but
Yeah,
that they need brains.
absolutely. I think there are days that my older girls don't text or call me. And I'll think of it like at the end of the day. And I'm like, oh, I haven't heard from them. Okay, I'll message them tomorrow. Right? Like, okay, we're gonna give them space because if they need something, they know where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to intrude on their time.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing as far as especially like the older children. I think, or the younger children. I think
Oh no, Queen.
you still have to have a certain amount of like presence in their lives, obviously, because they live with you, all things or whatever. But I think when the older kids go off to school, and like I have Life 360 on my son.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I only have I used to have notifications on it when he was in school and he first started driving, like where he got to work or the rec center or his dad's or wherever. So like I was notified when he would get to and from places that he was at when he was in high school, and a new driver. And now that he's in college, I only have notifications on when he arrives at home.
Right.
I don't even know why, but whatever. But I think that there's a woman I work with who her kid's in college. He's a senior in college, and so that's what, like 21, 22 years old, and still has notifications for everything that he does in school. And I'm just like, first of all, that would drive me insane because like the notifications coming on at 1 o'clock in the morning, the kid's coming home, or 4 o'clock in the morning when the kid's coming home. Like, no, thank you. Like I think you have to have. I think you're establishing a trust that you trust that they're going to make good decisions. Are they going to mess up? Sure, they're going to mess up, but I have the notifications on him still because I also know he's in college, and if I don't hear from him for a couple days, I want to know the last place he was. Like those types of things. But like, I think establishing trust with your kids, and they know that you're not going to be hounding them all the time or asking them, where are you or what are you doing or when are you going to be home or whatever, because I think that they have to have a little bit of self-governing and they have to have the autonomy and be able to make these choices on their own. That's why you send them off to school, and the job that you have when you're a parent when they're in your house is to teach them the tools to be a responsible adult. And so you got to let them go out and prove that to you. And I think that is something that is so important. And my relationship, I feel, has gotten so much better with Jacob since he has gone to school. And I think teenage years and stuff is hard, but I think he knows I trust him, and I know that he will come to me if there's a problem because he trusts me. He trusts that I'm not going to judge him or admonish him for mistakes he's made or whatever. So I think that establishing the trust with your children is very important because that carries out the remainder of your relationship with them as they go on into adulthood.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm outside and it's really cold because my dog had to come outside, so I'm shivering and that's why my voice is.
You're so
I wish dogs would use litter boxes sometimes.
No doubt.
You know, go out there and do it. They got to find the right blade of grass. It's all
Oh
the
my
same.
gosh. And then
The
they
world
spin
is your
around and
Just use
do
it.
all the things. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I agree. We do have not Life 360, but the Apple.
Yeah.
Whatever the Apple is. I don't know. Find My.
The AirTag thing.
Yeah, not AirTag, but you can do
I
like
think
Find
AirTag
My.
is separate. Yeah.
You can do like Find My for my phone or for our phones. So I do have that. And I will check on my kids every now and again. Usually it's like if I know one of them is going out for the night, when I wake up in the morning, I'll check to make sure they made it home.
Yeah.
Or if I'm going to call them, I'll check and make sure that they're at home and not in class, kind of thing. But it's just like a quick, like, oh yeah, okay, here they are again.
Yeah, but you're not getting dinged for every little move that they make.
I have
All
kids. Who the hell has time for that?
Well, exactly. But I'm like, this lady doesn't, and I'm like, but he's been in school for 4 years. Like, doesn't that get old? And also, he is a full-grown ass adult. Like,
Yeah.
let him live
But I
the
think
life.
it's so sweet though. We didn't have that back. I sound old. We didn't have that.
God.
Thank God we did not,
Thank
because
God.
But I called my parents. I was the ding myself. I called them when I told them I was going to skip class. Can I skip class today? They were like, "Why are you calling your parents? They're in Korea. You're in America. You ask if they can skip class. They're going to find out. Find out."
You know that they
But we're
don't.
just so close anyway. So I don't know. They're like
We
my
can't
besties.
even access their grades anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
super trash. Where's the trash sticker?
well, that's FERPA. That's a federal thing.
I was gonna send them anyway. They already knew it. I'm so square, y'all.
I mean, I think you get like, if they give you proxy, you get like limited access to stuff, especially like the bill, of course.
Yeah, right. You
But-
financials.
Yeah, you get the financials. Here's the bill that's due, whatever. But I think because they also want them to self-govern and be responsible and, make sure. And they won't like if you call and talk, like say, I got to talk to the teacher because something's up with my kid. They're not going to talk to you.
No, one of my daughter's class is like 150 people in it. Like, the teacher doesn't even know my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was a ding. I definitely was a ding. I was the one that
But you have to
they
trust
gave me
that you
$20
gave
and they said, "Bring me my change." I brought their change back. It was like $1. My brother never brought his change back. He was like, "They're gonna give it to me again next time I go out."
I think you just go ahead. Sorry.
I'm laughing at myself.
Oh, little mama, we both have Meg and I both have kids at college. So I have 2 kids at college. She has 1 kid at college. That's the ones we're talking about.
Yeah.
The grown
Homeschooling.
ones.
I was thinking
That,
about
like-
homeschooling.
Yeah. Like Camille was saying, parenting adult children, I think that is a whole topic. That
Yes, for sure.
I won't even be able to
Yep.
speak to it yet, but yeah, no, Casey, we can see the grades when they're in public school, like in the
Oh yeah.
yeah, because we're responsible for all that. But once they go to high school or college, even if we're paying for it, they don't think we're responsible for it.
Peter says yes too.
But I do think you have to have a level of self-trust that you did all the things that you were supposed to do to let them blossom out. Like there was a quote that I had heard. I'm a big quote person, we know that, but like it's 2 lasting things that you can give to your children. One is roots and the other is wings. And you have to there's like that balance of that they know where they came from and that you're able to let them soar. And that's what you have to do. Like you have to know that you you did a good job to teach them to be kind, well-rounded, respectable human beings, and that they're going to go out and navigate the world in the appropriate ways. They're going to make mistakes, but also mistakes, learning from our consequences, because that's a very important thing to know. Because if not, then, kids people, they turn into dicks.
And not the store.
That's right.
Story. So does anybody want to, if anybody wants to come up in the box, say, hey, have anything to say, to add, now would be the time to do that. But yeah, I think that's actually a really good topic, Camille, and maybe we have some panelists. By the way, if you do want to come up, hit the request button and let you up.
Peter and Camille.
Did I jot that down?
Huh? What'd you say?
Parenting. Did I write? Did I put that in the notes?
Jot it down.
Jot it down.
Camille's coming.
Hey,
Hi, Camille.
hi.
So good to meet you.
Camille.
I just want to say I love you guys' topics and panels, and today on so many different levels I can relate to all of the things that you guys are talking about. Oh, thank you. That's so cute. Sorry. Anyway, on so many different levels. As we talk about these kids, and I have a 20-year-old and a 28-year-old, one in college, one on their own. And I just realized, like, one time, Sunita will tell you, I wrote this whole dissertation when I was like, parenting adult children is hard. Like, they're experiencing life for the first time. And I remember that even though I had my wings, I think, clipped a little bit early, than my kids, I understand that, like, there are things that they still need to learn. They still need someone who really loves and cares about them to guide them through. But then there are also some things that you're just like you couldn't figure that out on your own. Like, do I have to know all the details? Like, I mean, I wanted this open relationship, but there are some things that I don't want to know. Like, there's so many range of emotions that go with parenting adult children. But I just want to come on here and say that, you guys are doing an amazing job. And it was a great discussion today. I came in late, but from the apologies to the children, to the in-laws, and I don't have any, my kids are not married yet, don't have any grandchildren, but when I do, I just, whatever it is that they need, I just want to be that. And not cause any commotion, any ruckus, anything. Just tell me where you need me and let me be that, So they have their own families to raise, their own children, their own relationships, and my job is just to fill in where they need. So that's just what I want to be. But you guys are great. I just want to say that.
Thank
We're
you.
coming to support. Look.
Love what you
that.
Our snaps.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to take up anybody else's space. If somebody wants to come, I'll go down. But thank you guys for giving me a moment.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up here and playing with us.
I'll let you down. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Thank you, Camille. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Did anybody else have anything that they wanted to add? You want to come up? Yes, family, children are such a blessing. And, it is funny because I feel like there is this kind of, and I guess it's a little off topic, but while we're talking about it, there is this kind of thing where it's like, oh, they're 18 and you kick them out the door and they're gone, But no, I mean, truly parenting, parenting should be kind of a lifelong thing. And, because you're always going to have more experience and you're always going to care and you're always going to be, wanting what's best for them and wanting to support them in that. So, yeah. No.
And I will tell you guys, like, parenting is different parenting adults is different than parenting teens or children, but it's, I don't know. Okay, so one little thing. I never tell my kids I'm proud of them because I I am a people pleaser. And so I never, ever tell my children I'm proud of them. I always tell them, I hope you're proud of you. I feel so much pride in you right now. And I have pulled them aside separately and been like, when I say that I'm really saying like, but I always make it about them because it's their accomplishment, their achievement. It's their life. Like if they feel that pride in themselves, they will never have to seek it from anybody else.
Yeah.
Valid.
I started doing that with my boys because I kind of learned that whole concept later on. But I do it with my girls now; they're older, and I always say that, and you should be very proud of yourself. And I found that my 4-year-old all the time will be like, "I'm so proud of myself." Okay, good, it's working.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's saying that because he peed on the fence and didn't miss. So I'm like, well,
Whatever. They
as
can
long
be
as you're
proud of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
good aim. Good job. Hi, Shanae. Shanae.
It's Shanae.
Shanae.
Hi, Fred.
Hi, you guys. Oh, I miss you guys.
You
Like
too.
that emoji.
In here.
He's so excited.
I know. I've been trying to catch you guys when y'all go live and come on. And sometimes when you guys go, I'll be headed to the gym. So of course I can catch a little bit while I'm in the car going to the gym, and then I can catch it. So today was a light day, so I was able to walk the treadmill and still still be a part. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Long.
I just wanted to tap in because a lot of everything you guys is talking about is pretty much a lot of stuff that I've been going through, I guess I should say that, or let's just say trying to close the chapter on a lot of different things that had to do with you guys' topic overnight. For us, the kids, I would say that I have a 21-year-old, and it's just so different. And I tell him and the other kids, like as you guys grow, I learn with you because nobody is given a handbook on being a parent, right? So as I'm learning, I'm teaching you, and I'm learning as well right along with you. So that's as when you're a baby and you get older, and then when you hit preteens, when you hit teens, and when you hit adulthood, I'm learning still as a parent how to parent you as an adult. It's a lot of different things that you don't get when you're in school that they don't teach you. And it's us as parents, our responsibilities to make sure that they have those, other necessities and things like that they need to go ahead and maneuver, through this world. So I tell my son, he in college, I tell him all the time, like he calls for every little thing he calls. But I always tell him, like, you should be proud of yourself and where you come from and where you came from, because his situation, my kids' situations with their dad passing away, it could have went totally different. And it started off rocky, lost your parents, so of course you're going to act out, but it went a totally different way than he didn't even expect, for it to go that way. And I always tell them, you should be proud. Like, I'm a mom, I'm always going to be proud, but you should be proud of yourself. You should be proud of the milestones that it took for you to get to where you are. So with that, and then with my oldest, it's like, I don't even know how I feel. Not with the oldest, with my second oldest, I don't even know how I feel. He graduated in 2027, supposedly in 2027, or was, but he got all of his credits. So I don't know how I feel about my 15, finna be 16-year-old, graduating early. He already been touring, going to. He was in DC, looking at colleges with the school and everything. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, you graduate and then you go off to college and you only 16. Like, how does that work? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, that is something new.
That's
Something
really
new.
baby.
Yes, it is. It really is. So,
Amazing. Wait, he deserves some snaps.
I was like, say yes. Where his snaps?
yes, I'm like, oh my God, like I have to learn, like I don't know what to do. Literally, I don't know. I knew what to do with with the oldest, but because he was right on time. He's early. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know what to do as a parent for this. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, and that's kind of what Casey was saying in the chat is, every child is different. It's not one size fits all. So even if it doesn't matter, and like Katie and I and like and Toya, I mean, we all between the four of us, we have 15 kids, and I still feel like I've got four kids, and I'm still like I'm not really sure I know what I'm doing. Like, it's like there are a lot of things that I've definitely like picked up on in the last 16 years of being a parent, but I'm still like, what? Like I'm going through all these different things, and I always joke with my oldest is almost 16. She'll be 16 next month. And I always joke with her that she's the guinea pig, and I'm like, look, I'm figuring it out with you, so just bear with me.
That's what we tell our oldest as well.
Like, look, I don't know. And she'll get mad because like I'll have I waited a really long time to give her a phone and stuff like that. And then I got a little more comfortable with it with my second. And when I gave her a phone earlier than I gave my oldest phone, she's like, that's not fair. And I was like, look, you're the guinea pig. I'm the oldest too. I get it. I'm sorry, but I'm just figuring it out with you. Once I get more
Exactly.
comfortable, like
And I think sometimes, like when they're oldest ones, where we're like the guinea pig or we're learning, I think sometimes if you have more than one, sometimes you're just tired. Just go ahead and do whatever. Just do,
Yeah.
like
the first one lived through it, you'll be fine.
right, like you're fine. It's almost like when the first one when you say you'll be fine. It's almost like the first one when they fall and they bump their head as the first time one. Be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But by that second one and the third, it's initiation.
Right.
This is Tylerville. This is where we are. Everyone's fine. This is hazing. Just it's okay.
My
Yes.
kid too, I was definitely the brush it off kid. I'm like, come on, brush it off. Like
Yes.
like the fall downs and because
I got called an ambulance.
Yeah.
well, what'd you say?
So like, do I gotta call the ambulance? Like,
Right,
are we all right?
right.
Yeah.
But my first one, I was like on her, like she fell and I was there like coddling her,
Yeah.
and then she was crazy. She was crazy. She would get her and like lose it. Lose it over everything. And then kid two, she falls, she like jumps back up and takes off.
Yeah.
See, I wish I have four, and I think I babied all of them, but Noelle is a special. She was premature. This baby is something else. And I think she just want to stay the baby, so she always acting like the baby, like every little thing. So she'll fall, and she'll be like, "Oh, I got a boo boo now." I'm like, "You bleeding?" No.
You'll be all right.
And then I'd be like, "Oh,
Some dirt on it.
you living." She was like, "Yeah." "Oh, you okay?" "You fine." It's okay.
It's funny because I think the baby in my house, I think he might be the toughest one. And he comes by it honestly because we're all just like, look, he, he fell.
Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah, he's almost 3. He'll be 3 in June. And we definitely like treat him like the baby, and he's got the chubby cheeks, and we squeeze it. Like, if you ask him what his name is, he'll tell you his name is Baby. He will not say his name. Me Baby.
That's Alexander's name. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I told y'all about that story, but that was so cool.
So the other day we were at Cracker Barrel for my husband's birthday, and he fell and he cried, and he was like, upset about it. And I went over to him expecting like, no big deal because he got over it pretty quickly. And I look, and his knees are skinned; they're like pretty good, and he's like fine. And I'm like, no, you like had, yeah, I would have cried about that, like that. But he like kind of cried for a second and then got over it. And I'm like, any of the other kids would have like lost their minds over it, and he was just kind of like, ow, like that hurt. And I was like, no, yeah, that looks like it hurts. I would have cried more over that one. He's a tough little kid.
My baby is tough too. Like, well, so her older sisters are 10 and 8 years older than her. And then we have the 3 boys in the middle. And those boys are rough and tumble. Like,
The boys are so rough.
they are, one of them did wrestling, and now all of them take part in wrestling.
Yeah, boys are a
You
different
don't mind
level of
living.
energy. I mean,
Yeah.
the girls, they're playing now, and I'm like, I don't even run sometimes. I hear something. The only thing I ask is if that was a body. Was that a body? No, mommy. Okay.
Now, the funny thing is, like, she can keep up with them. Oh, she can keep, like, challenge her. Go ahead, challenge her. But then when she starts doing something different than what they're doing, the boys will be like, she started tumbling. She was doing gymnastics, tumbling. And the boys are like, oh, you think you can do that? Watch this. So we had a tumbling mat in our living room, and here are all of my boys tumbling across the mat. And my baby's like, they all suck.
Yeah, the boys really are. I mean, my 2 oldest are girls, and then my 2 youngest are boys. And when I tell you, like what I sent my Mr. Ness, I think he's still in here, but I sent him a text the other day, and it was a video of the boys just like wrestling with each other and taking turns slapping each other in the faces and laughing. And I'm just like, hello? Like open hand, like pops. And I'm like,
The laughing at it is like sending me.
and they're like laughing. And then they'll just tackle each other. And I'm like, are y'all okay? Like,
See, I don't have that with the boys for me. Well, I have the 21-year-old, the 15-year-old, and then the 12-year-old, and then the 5-year-old.
wow.
So the 2 boys, they really didn't do that a lot. It was always Kaden and Khalees, which is the 15-year-old and the 12-year-old that would do that. And then Noelle, the 5-year-old, she just tap in and do what they do. So she is a little rough. Like Toy know, like she cut her eyebrows with scissors. Like that's how.
I remember
Like
that.
yes, Kate, yes. And I'm just like she that type of child. Like she takes risks.
That might be my
Did it ever grow back, friend?
They did grow back, and her dad said, "Do not cut my eyebrows again." She said, "These was mine, not yours." He said, "No, I gave them to her because your mama don't have none."
Y'all, she told us about that, and we were like, okay, it's not that bad. She sent us a picture, literally screaming. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's the child that lives life on the edge. She do not care.
I think that's gonna be Christopher. He's almost like he's the kid that if he goes missing for like 20 seconds, if I don't have eyes on him for 20 seconds, get ready, grab a towel, get something. Something's a mess.
Yeah.
I came in here, I think I texted Meg about it. I lost him for like 20 seconds and came into the bathroom and the primary bathroom here, and I was like, what does that smell? And I find he's just dumping rubbing alcohol on the ground, and it just smells like a hospital in the bathroom. And I'm just like, I mean, I guess there's worse things, but like, get out. Get out of here.
Gosh, have they ever done like diaper cream or something? All of that stuff is so horrible.
So hard to get up.
You know what his favorite thing to do now is? So, and I don't know why. At the old house, I'm not sure why it wasn't as much of an issue, but it's an issue in the new house because we have similar refrigerators. The water dispenser.
Mm-hmm.
He just push it and like gets sprayed in the face. He thinks it's hilarious, and I'm like,
I wish I had a sticker for that. Be so right.
We have a water
Did you not?
dispenser with the like 5-gallon jug, and my middle boy, no, I'm sorry, my youngest boy would just go over and hold the button down. And our dining room would be flooded like 5 days a week.
Why do kids do that stuff? Like little mama said, mine shot moose all over the wall once. They don't care.
No, they don't. And then they play in it.
Yes.
They just do stuff.
Yeah. And the baby also like he likes to like throw food like at dinner. It's not just like, oh, I'm dropping, he's just like throwing food across the room. And I'm like, dude.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun in middle school.
Like,
They do. They just laugh. Okay, Meg, sorry. Meg, are you jotting down notes? Jot.
Not anymore. I put them away, but
she said I gave up.
You guys' show is, you guys' platform is really amazing.
It's a show, friend. Go ahead and speak it.
It's a show.
Cool.
A show. Yes, I love it. I love it. I really don't have words, but I love it.
Aw, thank you so much. We're so glad you were able to. And you know what? When you get to listen to it, when you're en route going to like the gym or whatever. I know like Erica was in here. She was in the shower, but she was listening. It's like that's what we want. I think that's like the vision. We want like a podcast, just people to listen to it. You know,
Right.
able to like come in the chat, just listen to it, just real life conversation. Sunita said the same. This is my best link up live stream. Aw, love it.
For real. Like
We gonna be famous. No wait.
The goal is this summer, I think. Hopefully, well, we're all going to make it out to Ohio, right? And have a photo shoot. There will be T-shirts.
Awesome.
We need to put the announcement out because we have new friends in here, y'all. That KD had made the announcement last week, so I think we need to go ahead and say it again this week.
Right. That's right. I
Go
like
ahead, somebody, either with the host with the mostest,
KD
or we got KD with the thing. Look, come on, go ahead, drop the announcement.
We have a website that is being made currently. That is our future.
Yeah. We
Awesome.
officially, was it last week, purchased the domain for rHott.com. And the website is being designed, built, the whole thing by Katie and her son. And it's going to be so cool. It's so good.
but kind of a big deal.
We are a very big
A
deal.
very big deal.
In our group chat, we're a huge deal. Every
We,
us.
we know we're a huge deal.
Kind of a big deal,
Listen, you just got to think it into existence, right?
right?
That part.
Yeah, just like
The tongue is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
very powerful.
We're hoping to have
We
like
can
a
speak it into existence or speak it into the ground.
right. And I'm hoping, like, how cool would it be for us to do a live, like, all together in the same room, and this summer we've got to make sure we got to be there on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we got to make that work.
Thank you, Tracy.
Yes.
I don't know if that means you're leaving right now, but we just thank you for coming in.
You being here.
Sunita said as long as I know in advance, I'll be heading to Ohio.
He's gonna come join us in Ohio.
No one said go to New York. Who said that?
Thank you so much for coming
Who
in.
said, oh, it was
Listen, we would love to take this on tour. We would absolutely love to take this on tour.
100%.
Yes.
But
That's in our future.
it is. It definitely is.
I can visual. I can see it.
I can see it. Speak it into existence.
Yeah.
There it
Keep
is.
speaking it.
Speaking it to the wind, right?
Yeah, how cool would it be if we could go on tour like the Crime Junkie podcast? Anyone else listen to that? They do their
Right. It just like podcasts from like different places.
yeah. They go in
Like we're at the Grand Canyon or we're like somewhere in like
We can
what do
get.
they call it?
You know what I
Salts,
think?
Ohio? I mean not Ohio. Salts. What is it? I want to go there. Salts. What is it in Utah? Help somebody.
City.
Salt Lake City.
No, not Salt Lake City. It's like Salt Flats.
Oh,
Salt Flats. It's the sand is white and I'll send it to you guys. I'll send it in the group chat. We need to go.
I'm scared to go to New York.
You scared to go to New York?
Yeah.
You said she'd cook for us.
Okay, y'all, don't be scared to go to New York. I'm scared to go to New York too. As I say, don't be scared, but I'm scared because when I used to watch New York Undercover, and my dad had to travel there one time, and I was just like, he run into Malik Yo, but with his ashy lips, with no chapstick, and they trying to find the next person. I used to think about that when doing like Criminal Minds, and they always up there in Nova area, and they can't find anybody. You know, and then they're like, oh my gosh, like they were jogging, like they found them, they were outside of Starbucks, like pause, stop.
Yeah, my
Moore was
biggest
there. I'd be there though.
my biggest thing is I seen on I was actually watching TikTok and her best friend, one of the girls' best friend came down to visit her in New York. And as she was getting getting off the train, there was a rat that was that was chasing her. And she was fighting it. She was like, never again, never again. I said, you know what? Yeah, nah, I pass.
The thing is, I feel like New York is one of those places where you have to go and act like you live there, but you don't. And they don't, they're gonna know.
Ew.
They'll be like, look at the statue, they'll be like, I saw it.
Like,
right. Be like,
what's up,
I
Lady
saw it.
Liberty? How you doing?
Right.
I just saw you yesterday and
Right.
last week.
You see people
And-
walking down the street
Oh,
doing
thank you, guys.
entertainment. You be like, did you see that? They down here all the time. And then you be mad because you try to video. You be like, I saw it.
Like, I gotta get a selfie. Like somehow figured out that selfie situation.
You're like,
Oh,
she's not from around here.
We went
Yeah,
to take the kids
I
to
would
New
hate
York.
for that to be something that happened to me because I'm terrified. So I don't know.
Nina says she'll be
I think
right
I
back.
think it's good to experience, like each city or state. You know, like some like the big popular things at least once, just to get a
Just to
feel.
get- yeah.
The last
We
time
took
I
the
went to New
kids
York,
to-
I was like 12.
We took the kids a couple years ago, right around Thanksgiving time, and that was the first time I ever had insomnia cookie. Have you guys had insomnia cookie?
Hmm?
Have you guys had insomnia cookie?
And then some.
Oh yeah, we have them here.
I thought
That
you
was
said, I thought you were just talking about insomnia, and I'm like, oh
I
yeah,
was like, I have that every day.
you definitely have that.
The cookie.
The cookie,
It
yeah,
was
we have
one,
those.
like right a half a block from our hotel. And my son and I went there every night at like 10:30 p.m.
Mhm.
And
They're definitely better than crumble cookie, I think.
for sure. Oh, Crumble's doing a
I
whole.
haven't had crumble cookies, but I just feel like their cookies, they're not done.
They're
They crumble cookies for a reason because they crumble. I don't like them.
You guys
They're
know the
damp.
new line that they're doing?
uh-uh.
My daughter told me about it. They're doing one for each of the Kardash people.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, nah, we're out.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
What?
You give me a good
Where's the
snickerdoodle.
sticker? Where is it?
You can give me a snickerdoodle, but those cookies are very damp.
They're very unclean.
Whatever. I'll just do my research before I go
Sounds
there.
like it got dropped in the sink. That's disgusting.
I'll do my research.
I'm gone. I'm
Oh
dead.
my gosh. And so, okay, so she's really gone. Wait.
Oh, look, see my TV and my boxes? That's
I
nice.
can't, y'all, for real. Like,
You got the news on, Meg?
Not on purpose.
look,
It's
so
like
Shanae
Ron-
said it was unclean, and we were talking about damp. And then I had said the damp fupa in my head. So when you get
You
out,
said
the
it out loud,
shower-
girly.
I know. Well, I mean, out loud. But it was in my head first. You know, when
And
you
then
get
you
out,
just had to
they were
say it.
talking about, y'all, they were talking about, like, the fupa today. They were like, that's what makes a woman grown, and she's got, like, her body's not all these, like, stick figures and trying to be influenced by social media, and, like, this is a real body, da-da-da-da. And so
I don't know.
I'm just like, I mean, that's cool and all, but, like, when you put on certain things, or you have to, like, you know, you have to lift up your fupa. Like, when you dry yourself, you need to, it's damp. You need to, like dry your fupa. Like,
You gotta dry it.
whatever. Like, these are real things. Like,
We were talking about tattoos the other day. We were talking about with Meg because she's got like 150 tattoos or something,
Oh
470
wow.
472
tattoos. And
Sticker.
paper towels. Sorry.
Why y'all gotta make fun of me all the damn time?
Can't find the paper towels.
Like a
I don't know why I
pinata,
came here.
just whack after whack after whack.
Quack.
It's wild.
now we need a wax
Wax?
sticker.
Whack.
Whack.
But we were talking about all of our tattoos, and I was saying I have 3 tattoos, but I always forget about one of them because it was my first tattoo, and now it's hidden under my fupa, and I can never see it anymore. You gotta lift it up. You can't even see it. You gotta lift and like go all up underneath.
Not to look down.
You gotta get the mirror.
Not the mirror.
Good night,
Like
Tracy.
honestly,
mirror.
you know, when you were
Oh my
pregnant,
gosh,
you were
Steve,
trying to
what
figure out, like
movie?
what's going on downtown
What
because you
movie
can't see
was that?
Kathy anymore.
It was
You
like
can't see her.
fried green
You can't see Kathy.
tomatoes.
Mhm,
Do you
I've seen
remember
that.
that? Where she's like, you
Good
gotta
night,
get the
Tracy.
mirror and check out down south.
What like
Mine
what?
used to be just a lily, and now it's a bouquet of lilies that I have to lift up.
Oh Lord, we get into it.
Let me see. I have a tattoo that's right here. Right there.
Yeah, I've seen that before on you. Yeah, I don't know why my thing.
My tattoo has had to be sewn back together twice.
Huh?
Wow.
My first tattoo had to be sewn back together twice. So it's actually funny because after I had both of my C-sections, I remember like, because it's all the way on the right side and they start on the left and they were like sewing. And then like, they're like, all right, we got to, and they're like literally sitting there trying to put it back together like a puzzle piece, my tattoo to make sure, but it's been sewn back together twice.
I was about to ask, does it look? Is it together?
Listen,
It was a listen for me.
As soon as you said, "Listen," I knew that was it.
they
Doesn't
tried
matter
real hard.
because The food, but you can't see anything.
Things shift and move, and honestly, from the angle I'm looking, who knows?
It looks amazing.
It looks so
Hey,
good.
Phenomenal.
what a TI is.
You know what? I'm sorry. The fupas are in. Okay,
Fupa's gotta be in. They ain't going anywhere.
We're
already
here
know my
hearing
suitcase.
that, but every time I look, see, and it's funny
I
because like,
feel that.
I'll see the pictures
I
of
feel
like,
that, Casey.
yeah, like have you seen the pictures of like the women in like the skirts, like the pencil skirts, and they've got the little like fupa, and it's so cute on them. And I'm like, okay, but mine doesn't look like that.
Right. It doesn't
Mine-
look like that at
Mine
all.
is like, why is mine long? I have
It's the Joey pouch.
like mine
It's
doesn't.
definitely a Joey pouch. We were marsupials.
Yes.
I
Like
don't know if I'll ever. I just come to terms with this. Just not going hello. Just not.
it is literally just an extension.
And
It's like
it's
an
okay.
appendage. It is like an arm for me.
Literally. An arm.
I wish you would act like one. I need to.
It waves.
Imagine.
Who snorted?
Face.
Nobody. You did? I knew I heard a snort.
I did not.
Oh,
Maybe
I
I
thought
did. I don't
you
know.
said she did. Maybe I just heard something.
I think where I actually came to terms with mine is I had my second.
Ab protection. Sorry. Little Mama said it's ab protection.
That's right.
It's not anywhere near my abs.
I had my so it was I had little Kevin first. Of course he the oldest. So him and Caden is 5 years apart. It's always I thought I was done having kids, but it's always the second child, which is your last child, because I thought that was my last one. And after I had him, I want to say he was about maybe 2 to 3, and he was talking really good. We in the store, and somebody was like, "Oh, how many months are you?" Right? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I ain't pregnant. So I said, before I can say I'm 3 months, right? Because that's how small my stomach was. My son say, she ain't pregnant.
They don't care. It be your own kids.
The lady
My
was like, "Oh
sister-in-law,
my God, I'm so sorry."
my sister-in-law was just at Home Depot, and my nephew is like 18 months, and he was helping my brother push the cart or whatever. My sister-in-law was just at Home Depot, and my nephew is like 18 months, and he was helping my brother push the cart or whatever. And this woman, this grown-ass woman, comes up to my sister-in-law and says, "Oh, it looks like he's going to be a great big brother." She was like, "I'm not pregnant." I would be like, "Whoa,
You are
dude."
not like, listen, you never, until they are crowning you as,
Yes,
right, for real.
listen,
unless they have told you or you see evidence of it, you do not say, "Oh, when are you due?" Last week. Like, who cares?
Jess said until they are crowning, I'm
I'll see the head.
dying.
I'll be like, hey,
That joke is funny.
12 years ago. Thank you.
I was like, "Wow, kids just would say
Yeah, kids,
whatever."
but
You were going to
But-
say 3 months.
also grown
I
adults.
was definitely going to say, "Oh, 3 months." He say, "She ain't pregnant."
Yeah, let it ride. Be like, you know what? You're not about to say this about me.
Then they hold the door open or something.
Right.
Like, get something out of
I
it.
miss being pregnant though.
I'm sorry, what?
I do.
Who does?
I definitely don't.
Me.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
That last one was hell.
I miss being pregnant. I do. Like I miss the
Listen, I miss being pregnant if it was somebody else's being pregnant.
No, I miss the clicks and the flutters and like people holding the bed. Yes, little mama, thank you. Look, unpopular opinion in a chat.
I mean, I feel like it's
People opening the doors.
you're like you have this much of a window where it's good. You're either super sick at the beginning and then you feel like shit at the end, and then you got that small
I
window.
didn't have any sickness. That's the crazy.
Oh,
Like the
God, I don't
whole
even-
time.
We can't be friends.
and you get stretch marks either.
Yeah, I know.
You can
I
get
know.
stretch
That's
marks.
rude.
I
I
don't
want to
even
do a transition.
Show off.
Why is my forehead
She
and then
needs
like
to have
people do those
triplets.
transitions?
My camera flipped for some reason, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh,
Like I'm reversed now.
Like,
And I don't
look
know
if you mess with this hair, but it's on this side.
Yeah, like this is sending me.
Didn't we just talk about this?
Yes, I'm like, and I don't know how it did it, and I've been trying to fix it, and I can't. I don't know how. So
Tap
I'm like
when I do hair.
cockeyed.
Tap your screen, and it's the third option.
Toya, get out.
Jay, did you see? She said, "Get out!" Wait, did you see what
I
she
did
said,
have
Jay?
it. I have the camera, the switch, and then the microphone.
You don't
But the
have
switch is to do the turn the camera around to look at my TV.
Oh, that's some shit.
You know what, Katie?
Hold on.
Let me tell you something.
I'm out of coins. I'll have to.
Listen, I ain't
close
making
the
it
whole
with
live
y'all.
to get more.
Not doing this with y'all. She said, "I'm at a course. I'm not doing this with you."
No, I will, but y'all are gonna have to
Look.
pause the whole thing if I go get.
I feel like
No, okay.
no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Go on your laptop, Jess.
Like crackheads. TT got us out here doing things we should not be.
Oh my god.
We should.
We have now hit
be doing
Talk After
this.
Dark. It is now
We have
TikTok.
reached the Getty level of.
Yeah, and we have to remember that we are not on. We have to remember that we're not on our
You're not
group
on
chat.
FaceTime.
We're online.
Listen, we are really 12 years old. No,
Group chat is lit, y'all. It's,
Y'all, it's ridiculous.
like that will be content that we could share on YT.
That'd be a comment that we could share on some lives only.
sub only,
Yeah, sub only.
not
That'll
for
be
free.
Y'all will stay on the phone till like 1 and 2 in the morning. It's ridiculous, actually.
We had a team.
And we
You guys, we had
and we got on at 7.
Oh wow.
We had our first team, like real team meeting since actually starting the podcast or whatever we're calling this, our show. and we talked
My
about
kids call it a live that should be a podcast. That's what my
exactly that.
children call it.
Yes. So we had our
What
first
is that?
live that should be a podcast meeting, and we talked business for what, 25, 30 minutes?
472 seconds.
And then we talked shit for the next
We were
five
on
and a
the
half
phone for
hours.
6 hours.
And
Wow.
then
Like paper
people
towels.
were coming and going, and it was still on. So then they would pop back in.
We were
I
on
need to
for
go get
6
some paper
hours.
towels.
Oh wow, 6 hours.
KJ, what is that? You just put it down your shirt.
It's a pen. It's a good pen though, y'all. It's one of the girls' pens.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Ollie's losing his
And I
mind.
like the way it
Let
hits
the
my
dog
chin
in.
because my chin is like a part of getting older, so like it hangs a little bit, and so I like do this with it.
Oh, mine just
Yeah.
I don't
Come
like.
on, Mylena.
Yeah, I think I have it too, and it's just like,
Well, Mylena, and I guess this will be like another little announcement, although it's not super official yet, but we are going to be uploading all of our episodes onto YouTube, YT, to the other one, and it'll
To that.
it'll be the full episode. So we're going to do that at
Okay.
some point. We're working on it.
Yeah,
It's
we're working
coming
on it.
soon.
Coming soon. It's under construction.
But they can also go on the website too, right?
Once the website's up, yeah.
Yep. And we got the web. Marlena knew about the website, right, Marlena?
Yes. Yeah, she was here last.
Ben.
So next week, KD will be hosting, and she is talking about.
TBA.
I don't know. My kid just came in and my dog growled, and then Ollie.
That's
left.
why I told her it was TBA because I don't know if you know. Do you know yet?
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. I put
Just say
put
Chris on the
everything in
notes.
the notes.
Yeah, that's the only reason I
Oh.
put you on the spot because I didn't decide until after last time. But I saw you put it in the notes, so I thought you had one ready.
We are talking about balancing careers, momhood, partner, spouse,
All the things.
all the things,
That's right.
Dating.
dating, all the things. And my favorite, because this is my most favorite topic, and it cracked me up when I asked my favorite AI for some assistance. And she gave me an icebreaker of what have you done this week to take care of yourself?
That goes along with our text messages lately with me.
I was gonna say,
And it's what I asked you guys last time for showing up for you.
Yeah.
So
Look, I'm all cockeyed and it's really I'm getting dizzy looking at myself.
I can't handle like Zoom calls.
Oh,
anymore.
Sunita wants to come up.
yeah, I was
Jen.
trying to figure out how
Oh,
to.
yeah.
you can go ahead and drop.
Oh, you
can
ready?
drop.
Okay.
Yeah, you can drop. And
Right, I'll drop.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Thank you, friend.
You're welcome.
I'm so glad you came. Hey, Sunita.
Good night, good night. Oh gosh, I
Night.
can't tell you how I'm enjoying you guys. It's like I have to look, I was like in distress mode, although I had the death in the family and the funeral here. I'm gonna miss out on this. And I was like, oh, it's Wednesday night. And I was like, okay. Yesterday was the funeral. And took out when you see Katie said the right thing. Sometimes you have to make certain decision. I decided to take a time out from going to my cousin's home because I was there since Sunday night, and I was coming home like after 12 and then go back in the morning and was back and forth. And I like, something, no, I can't do it today. And I did something with my husband and my son and daughter. And when you talking about the son, my son it was so amazing. He wrote a poem, he had to present the poem, and he represented the district. So I was so proud of him. And then the superintendent came to me and he said, Miss Frank, I just want to say something to you. Your son is so amazing that he represents 2,000 students. He advocates for them with disability, and you should be proud of it. And I was like, it made all the, like, all, I was in mourning state that my aunt died. And I was like, oh my gosh, this couldn't have been the best time to hear that. Yeah.
Well, I'm
So,
so glad. Yeah.
that's why when you were saying you have to give your children them, you have to tell them how special they are. You have to tell them that you could do anything. Even if you fail, you did something. So when you're gearing them that when they get older, that even when they fail, it is okay to fail. You just get up back and do it again. And as you do it, even if you do it 10 times, each time you improve one time, you get better at it, and you just keep doing it, but never stop doing it. Yeah, I always believe in that.
A line that I've used a couple times this week is you grow through what you go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In and through, I use a lot too.
Yes, you go through it and you take it as a learning curve in your life, and that's something I saw my mom work really hard, and she did so many stuff that I took it upon myself. I said, you know something, these are things that I learned from her being a strong woman. She fell, she went through so many stuff, and it's crazy. My mom was married before, and her husband went away to England. And it's something that always gets me angry. He went away to England and he sent message with his family. They sent a message that he's deceased. So my mom, she rose her, look after her kids on her own as a single parent. And it was really hard for her, going through this process of, looking after his kid and thinking she lost her husband. He married back in England and was having a family there. And my mom was punishing at home with her kids. So she met my dad after a while. She got married. And sometimes I think I need to write a whole book. She got married. And when she got married, thinking she was married, I was like 20 something when he appeared out of the scene. Yeah, he came back and, he came to meet his kids. And then he came back, I was 20 something. Then I realized, we all realized my mom, she wasn't divorced. Yes. And she said she married to my dad. So they had to marry back. And it was really hard on her. So I always tell people,
Yeah.
there's so many things like Katie was saying, marriage, talk about marriage, taking time out for yourself, looking after yourself, be loving to your kids. And in this crisis, oh man, we need to be more supportive as women, look out for each other, support each other instead of pulling down each other. And, when I look at the four of you, I can feel, and I'm good of judging people. That's one thing. That's what most time I would okay, stand back. But I'm very good, and you could feel you guys.
Aw,
Me
thank
on the
you.
table. Yes. You could feel it
You know
among
what?
you.
I agree. And I think women are so hard on other women. And I freely admit that I myself have been hard on other women as well. But I do think that we need to work on that.
Yeah.
We need to be building each other up and not looking for flaws or
Comparing.
Yeah.
comparing. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being excited for other people when they do something great, right?
Yep. I always believe, I even tell people, when I go on my other platform and I do my stuff there, one thing I always leave with people, don't look around, don't compare. You just focus on you. When you look around, you always lose you because you want to be the other person or you want to be all those other person. And the blessing that God has put into you or whatever niche in your DNA, you're losing that because you want to be Jess. You want to be Toy. You want to be somebody else besides Sunita. And I don't want to be anybody else. That phase gone. I don't want to be, I want to be me. And you know who I was always say, who God created me to be. Let me find myself. Even in the midst of stumbling and everything, let me find myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have to,
You need to come up here dropping these nuggets.
I know.
I appreciate it so much. But you know what? It warms my heart that you said you feel that energy with us.
No,
Like
I
that
get it.
warms my heart so much. It makes me so happy. We've got it. See, guys?
Yeah,
You
no,
just
I'm
affirmed it for us. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no,
We about to go virus.
Mm.
Like, what's wrong with you?
Lord, I don't think we should say
whatever
that.
is
That's
the virus,
vulnerable.
we go in the good virus. So you guys, we're
right.
gonna get there. Because people are feeding into the program, and you may not believe it. Camille, I've known Camille before COVID, and
Wow.
we haven't met in person.
Mhm.
But Camille encouraged me to start writing my book. I used to go on.
Aw,
Yeah,
I
she
love
came on
that.
yeah, she came on a program that I was on, and we were talking not on TT, on the other platform. I'm trying to learn that the jargon.
Fine.
Yes, and I met her. We were talking like everybody was talking on Zoom, and that's how I met her. And, we communicate. And myself and Camille click at the set time. So when she had program like I normally would go on her program, and then we exchange number and we call each other and support. And I get to know her mom. And when I lost my mom in 2020, her mom used to call me and pray with me.
Aw.
Yes, and myself and Camille, we had a really good relation. Then she encouraged me, so Sunita, you have to write the book, because I had a terrible time during the when I lost my mom. She was living with me here, and my dad and my mother-in-law was in the basement. So when you guys were talking about the mother-in-law thing, I was like cracking up. I was like, oh yeah, my kind of world. Yes, I had the seniors with me, and I'm old school, and I came from South America, and we have this thing about looking after our parents. My mom brought us here. So when we came to America, it's like my mom stayed back. She and my dad stayed back for 2 months to make sure that the business and everything was taken care. So when they came and they stayed by my sister for 2 weeks, and they were like, "We're not gonna stay with her. She's ordering us around." So they turned up by me, and I was like, "Okay, it's my parents." Them, my husband was okay, and they stayed with us until my mom passed away. And then my dad was like, "I can't stay here in the house anymore because he too many memories." So he left. And a few months after, my mother-in-law died too. So we had two deaths within a few months during 2020. And it was like crazy. And we were all doing COVID tests. Everybody was coming up positive. My mom was burying the Saturday, and I didn't get my result until the Sunday. When I got my result, I was negative. And girl, I went spiraling down because it's like I could have gone to my mom's funeral. I mean, and I could not go to her funeral. And I went into depression, anxiety, anything you could have think about. I had to stop working at the bank, could not function. I took time off, and that was it. And it was like a bad patch to me. And my son, he was just 10-year old when we hit him. He helped me through. When we were all like, we used to pray, he used to exercise, and then we started doing affirmation. And then a light bulb went in my head with the affirmation. I started doing it. I made a twist in it, and I started use biblical word, like verses, and change it into that. Like instead of, I'm beautiful. And then I was created in God's image. I'm wonderfully made. So, I'm telling myself what I'm basing it on the scripture. So I'm not just saying it, something, I'm just beautiful. No, I'm confirming what God says about me. So that's how I did it. And when we decided to do the book, a set of people who went through a lot of stuff during COVID came together, about 5 of us, and I ended up co-authoring. So Camille is working on me to get this other book off, my personal book.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it. When
Yes.
it
Every little thing. I've learned this thing only a few months, where my son, he loves to like put pen and paper. That's me. And he got that for me. And he wrote a poem. And the poem is being published in a book, like the school. I just learned about that. It's like my daughter and son is 19 years apart. And yeah, they're 19 years apart, so it's like a whole different generation of things. Things are different. Like the things that I taught her, he doesn't want to hear that because he thinks like I'm old fashioned or something is totally different, so he doesn't want to hear those things. Like, mommy, I'm not her. And he wrote a poem, and it actually encouraged me that, as simple as it may be, and the poem get published in it coming out in a book in July. He was chosen. Yeah, his poem was chosen in it. They use all the school throughout in America, and they choose a set of poems to publish in this book. And his poem was chosen, and then he's still in running for monetary funds. And today, yeah, I got an invitation a few days ago and said, they're inviting the parents. They have a presentation of poems written that they use in New York, and they want him to present the poem. So when we went out today, it was such a beautiful feeling. And I said, if my son could do it, why not? I'm holding back myself, and I just decided that, I'm going to finish off my book and give it to Camille for her to edit and everything.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Sunita. I'm excited to read it. Do you have any idea?
All have a story, because when I've been listening, I mean, this is few Wednesday I've been on your live, right?
Yeah.
And I've been listening. Each of you have a story. Believe you me, it might sound like thing, because the experience that you went through, Jess, with 4 kids and the stuff that you went through, it's a story. Believe you me, and that would end up being a bestseller. Women wants to hear experience that other women went through, because sometimes they feel that they alone are going through this, or they might hear just a thing and they just pass through. But when they actually put it, see it in the words and hear somebody tells it, there is a story. Toy has kids, all the fun thing. It doesn't have to be something that is bad. She could be something that is fun, something that, whatever it is that you go through, but you just share your life and let other women see what it is that you put your words into it, and guess what happened? Coming, you finish it out. She just brush it up and ensure that this is it, and you all have a story. Meg, every one of you have a story. I've been listening to you guys, so just don't feel like, just put pen and paper. Every little idea that you have, just write it down. And what the Bible said, make it plain. And, run with it. You might think, I can't write a book. I can't. We all have a story. It's just that, are we going to put it, make it happen? Mm-hmm. Don't sleep on your, each of you, don't sleep on your blessing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sunita.
I think we're all going to write a book. Yeah, I think we're all going to write a book now.
Yeah.
No, seriously, serious. Yeah, I'm sure if Camille was here, she would have been like jumping on and telling you guys exactly that I'm telling you. But
I mean, just knowing what I know about each of us, I think we all at least have a book.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to write it as an individual book, you could merge it as like 4 friends and write
Our hot book.
Co-author book. Have a story to tell.
We are hot.
We could just transcribe our group chat and put that in
Right.
a book. And it's like a coffee table book,
Yeah, like women would love to hear, women would love to hear. And sometimes the husband don't know. They take, so when you're a housewife, you think that okay, it's like a regular thing. Your hardest job is being a housewife. I'll go and do a regular job and say it's okay. But a housewife job is never done. Every time you got 4 kids, you be walking around. My son was born with vision disability, cataract. Then they removed the cataract, developed glaucoma. And one thing I don't know what was it, but he never wanted to be labeled as a child with a disability. He went to vision school. And they taught him like with regular kids in the street, and he was like, he wants to do everything that regular kids does. Mm-hmm. My fear was depth perception, because he, sometimes he think this is the height and then the height is lower. So that was one, but he overcome it. You would not know that child has lost his whole peripheral vision, and he still has problem with the front, but he moves like normal, and he tells you, He tell me, Mommy, you have little faith. I'm like, I'm teaching this child and he's telling me that now. Like, yeah. So, we are just scared. You guys are doing awesome job as parents. So I'm
Well,
so
we appreciate you so
Thank
much, and thank you
you.
for joining us every week.
Yeah.
We appreciate every time we see you in here. We get excited to see you, and especially
likewise.
just knowing we have these regulars coming in here. Like that's really cool for us. So
Yeah, that means a lot too.
As
Meeting
I
the
said,
regular
Right.
people.
welcome to New York. I don't know what experience who had in New York, but guess what happened? I will have my own house, and you guys, you come to New York, you're going to be fed by me, and then yes, you'll be moving around. You don't have to be like scared. I mean, yes, there's every places that have fear, but it's not as crazy as it. Because guess what? I come from a place that is very, very quiet, and I was supposed to be in DC, like about 2 blocks up from the White House where my sister was living, but I stopped short in New York. And I do public transportation. Most of the time, I don't drive. I do public transport. It's like easy. You go everywhere. Like, you just got to be like, you don't think, well, I live life in fear. I know stuff happen, but yeah, it could happen anywhere. You could go to somewhere else and it happen. Things happen, but you just if we live in fear, we wouldn't live.
right.
And you bring the babies too. You bring the babies, so we have them there.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming up. Thank you so much, Sunita.
Anyway, have a good night. I'm going to do some stuff now, but I finished cooking when I was looking at the show. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
Let you down.
okay, take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Carissa. Thank you for coming. I haven't seen you in a long time. Look, we're all rubbing our eyes now.
I know. What are we? 3 hours in?
But I know.
Almost, yep.
That's crazy.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it. And cut. Do we have a What are we need a sign off.
Oh wait, wasn't there like a ending to your plan? There was. I think everybody had to say something.
Oh, just a takeaway.
Just a takeaway.
Yeah.
I don't have any takeaway. Well, I do.
I didn't learn anything.
Yeah. There we have it. We
Don't
were
be a
learning
liar.
as we were going.
Don't be a liar. Don't be a dick.
Don't be liar, don't be a dick.
That's my
That's what we're
takeaway.
talking about. And if you lied, you're being a dick.
That's right.
That's a takeaway.
I think too that it's okay to say I've had enough and like I've apologized. I tried to work this out and it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Twitter.
But can our sign off be "Don't be a liar, don't be a dick"? See you next week.
Yes. I feel like this is great.
We got to make like. Don't be a
Meg
liar,
needs to
don't be a
say it.
dick.
She says
Duck
it with a
lips
lot of
and a
heart.
peepin'.
Don't be a liar. Don't be a dick.
See, she says it comes naturally and it's
I've
very
been trying it for a
heartfelt.
long time.
To-
I've been
If you're
trying
lying,
to.
don't
I've
be a
been
dick.
trying to
If you're
train
lying, then you're
grown
being a
men
dick.
with that. I've been trying to train grown men to not be liars and dicks. Okay.
All right. Well, this is your platform.
If we get bananas after the multiple times that we said dick tonight, like I'm done.
Don't be a liar. Don't be an eggplant.
And if you're lying, you've been an eggplant.
That's it. That's the one.
I love it. We need a sticker.
That is all our hot
On it.
takes. Just a bunch of inside jokes that nobody understands unless they were there.
Nobody understands any of our
This is
stickers.
why everybody just needs to come back every week so you fully understand our stickers.
Yeah.
The thing is, everybody be throwing up the stickers, but they don't get the inside joke. That's
Well,
why
I
we need
think
a more
like
fight.
Melina threw up the wheezing. I need
Marlena
my
just threw
inhaler.
up the-
She's been here. She's been here.
Okay, wait.
Marlena knows
She
the
was here
context
that
for
night
all.
when we were wheezing. So ridiculous.
All right,
I need
guys.
my inhaler.
We are going. I think we're gonna sign off. Toys needs her inhaler.
I need rest after today.
Yeah, she needs to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And she's getting a text message from all of us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know what time it
9:15,
is.
9:45, and 10 o'clock.
Listen, when mine goes off at 9:15, you're getting the text.
Hey, do it, please. I already said I'm holding myself accountable. I'm holding you accountable to make me held
She said
accountable.
it's your responsibility.
Holding you
Good night,
accountable.
Sunita. Thank you for being
Good
here.
night, Sunita.
Good night, Sunita. Be blessed, friend.
Yes,
She's holding you accountable to make her accountable to make you accountable.
Yeah.
Make us
exactly.
accountable.
I'm gonna text Meg to make sure she texts you. Well, Katie will text me. I'll text Meg, and she'll text you.
Yes, it's
Okay.
in the order of it.
Isn't that the phone tree basically?
Wait, hold
I
Yes.
on.
think it is.
How is it? Am I first? Is that
Yeah,
what
you're
you're
gonna
you're
text
first.
me,
You're on deck.
and then you're gonna text me and be like, "Hey, text
Be
Meg,"
blessed.
and I'm gonna text Meg and be like, "Hey, text Toy," and Meg's gonna text Toy and be like, "Yo, take your medicine."
Yeah, and then I'm gonna text the group chat of a video of me taking my medicine.
We'll be like, "Lift up
Full
your
circle
tongue."
moment.
Right. Wait, what does that say, Dopey? Everyone's gonna know it now. Why are we laughing like old people like we're trying to start the lawnmower again? So ridiculous.
I want to take the video of this and just like soundbite.
I can't
Soundbite the
even.
laughing.
I can't even turn my camera back on because it was making me dizzy. So I'm just done.
But Katie was so proud. She did it. That's what I'm talking about. Squabble up. Katie was like, look, I did it. Look.
Whoa.
Did it. Don't be a liar. Don't be a
I've
dick.
been-
Be an egg
I've been
champ.
making stickers this whole time.
Oh my god.
I knew you would be. She just
That's why we
Every week
sub
you
to
get
each
new
other so we
stickers.
can use these stickers.
Katie's writing down the stickers. I'm jotting down notes.
Dot.
Toy is imitating everybody. And Jess is Delilah.
Just be low key trying to keep us on track. Like,
Like
Like,
he's like it's like hurting cats. I can't deal with it.
he's like, and trust.
Jess is like, I made some notes. Stay on track.
He's like, circle back. Now, how do we deal with trust? We don't.
Takeaways.
We
Man,
don't deal with
we're
it.
trying to figure our life out.
I'm gonna circle back.
Ooh. We'll figure it out one day. Just like this, like we tried to be structured and organized, but we got the rails way too quickly.
I was supposed to be doing my research on it.
Oh my god! And it was
On
moist.
what?
I was like,
It was very moist.
yeah, it was super damp outside because it's been raining for the last 3 days.
You know what? My weather just told me it's snowing here.
Your weather told you?
Your weather, your weather.
Yes,
I don't
my
want to be
weather.
on here anymore because I'm laughing too much.
All right.
Oh, look
Your
at
weather told
it.
you. What is that?
Jot that.
Jot, that's it. Jot this down. Isn't that the Dollar
Listen,
Tree? Like,
we're
brand
we,
for,
we're
like-
gonna have to put. We're gonna have to do like merch and do all these stickers.
My
That
word.
people-
With all these
Buy
shirts.
the-
We'll be the only ones wearing our shirts and stickers. Be like, what is happening?
Can you imagine
Lloyd,
people having
Lolina.
stickers of our
She's so
podcast?
funny.
though?
Look,
I don't.
Could
Could you imagine? You're just driving down, and all of a sudden you see an rHott sticker, and you're like,
And then she put the wet. Just get out of the room.
Snort, Meg. Snort, Meg.
"No, I'm doing everything I can not to pee my pants."
Literally,
So.
like, can't breathe. Like, wait. I can't. And then she put the little wet drops.
She got
ridiculous.
filtered. I had to unfilter it.
No, you you could have left it filtered. You're
Y'all
terrible.
can see it. You're moderators.
I didn't see it. Oh, that's why we could see it. That's fine. Damn.
Well, I unfiltered it so everyone can see it now, but you should still be able to see it when it's filtered.
Yeah. I saw it's just hanging out there. Someone's got to comment to make it go.
Just hanging out there.
Just hanging there. It lives there
Thank you,
now.
Molina. We appreciate you so much.
It just lives there
Marlene
now.
gets all of our jokes.
She can't even look at it.
So ugly. It's so gross. It was like sport. Like, damn, like
So You know what I was
Like
talking about? My daughter hates that word as well.
the M
Especially
word.
yes,
The M
especially
word.
when used with female undergarments,
Yeah.
panties.
Panties.
I hate the
If
way
you
you said
use the two
panties.
Pantalones.
together, but
Pantalones or
also
pants.
she pantaloons. she
Pantaloons.
um she has the same like visceral reaction to sour cream.
To the word
Cream
sour.
just
No,
sounds
like
gross.
sour
Cream.
cream, but actually, like she hates sour cream.
Love
I
sour.
So
don't.
I
I don't mind sour cream. I just don't. I have to say it together because if I say it slowly, it sounds gross.
Sour cream.
Research.
So
Turn
on
on the camera,
clothing
Meg. Turn on the
boundaries,
camera.
I can't
yeah.
because I'm gonna be backwards and I can't handle it.
What?
We just talked about this too. Like we had a whole 20-minute live about this.
20 minutes.
About what?
About the
The
reverse.
About
word?
on Zoom, it's reversed.
Oh yeah, we did. Sorry. What am I?
And so like I'll
We
be
have a
like
lot of
messing with
conversations.
my
I can't keep
hair.
up.
Ooh.
I'll be messing with my hair on Zoom and it's the wrong damn side. I'm like, why does this side still look so damn bad? What the
Look,
hell? Like
look.
I've been messing
This
with
is
it for now.
this is an example of us all three talking in class. And look at Jess. Jess is doing the thing that the teachers do when they say, "I'll be quiet when you're done." Let me know when you're done. None of us are paying attention.
I'm just observing.
Should be like
Right.
The bubble in your mouth.
Okay, Meg, put the hair down. Okay. Farrah Fawcetting. Okay.
getting a hair headache.
Ew. It's cute. I love you, friends.
Wait,
No ugly friends.
We need Jess to say like 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me.
No.
Yeah, look at my makeup's all smeared. I don't
What
blush.
she's doing. It's the teacher thing. She's like, no.
I need y'all to know that I spent 99.9.
I literally went and it went at the right time.
It was beautiful.
She looks so cute. Shut up. I have no ugly friends.
I can't even look at myself. I have to like cover the camera.
Look at
Yeah.
I gotta figure this out for you. I wonder if I can flip you.
Please do. Put me off.
And... oh no, I
She's
can't.
on the camera.
Moderator KD.
Wait.
I can't. She's off for 58
How do I do
seconds.
it? How do I flip you off? I want to do it.
We
Like-
lost the entire chat.
Literally, it's just
Like
us.
this?
And Mylena.
Throwing up the stickers. Listen, when we make stickers, Mylena, you're getting them all. You win and you get them all the time.
Oh my gosh.
You're still off for 33 seconds.
That's so ridiculous.
There we go.
Meg said we lost the entire chat.
I just can't. Oh my lord.
Mr. Jess is still in here.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Is he sleeping though?
probably. Well, he's not in here. He's in his office. I think
Mr. Jess is in here.
yeah. But he's not in the bedroom, I mean.
Oh gosh. That was
Mylene, I love that you use the stickers.
I do too.
We appreciate it. Mr. Jess.
Yes.
Man.
I gotta go wash my face.
Making up for being late. Oh.
Aww. Oh, he's
Mr.
here.
Jess says, I'm here.
Jess is still here.
Oh,
Or
okay.
he.
Okay, y'all. I have to go. My head is starting
I got it.
laughing.
I gotta wash my makeup off my face to get up and
Just keep laughing.
just get up in 4 hours and put it back on.
I know.
Rude.
All right. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Love you. Mean it.
Love you. Love you. Bye.
Wait, are you disconnecting us, friend?
Me? Oh, right.
We're not on FaceTime right now.
Bye, Mylena. Bye, Mr. Jess.
Bye, Mylena. Bye, Mr. Jess.
Bye, Katie. And Toy.
Oh, bye, Meg.
Cut her off.
Like you mean it.
Like you mean it.
All right. Bye, Toy. Bye, Katie. Bye, everyone. Sorry, Meg. Sorry, Meg. Like you mean it.